Hi guys,
Hey,
What's going on?
welcome to another episode of Supernatural Talk. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
are we supposed to be alive?
Actually,
Well,
Adrienne, this is the first time I actually came on screen. I was working. I like your hair.
Whose?
we're
Yours.
here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been in a ponytail all day. It came down for the show, and I'm seriously reconsidering that. It's hot down here.
I like it when it's
Really?
long.
Yeah, I don't need to be cutting it no more. But I get tired of it and think, okay, let's start over.
How? What's the temperature over there?
It's only, well, it's Colorado, so 88 right now is what it says, but it's 102 in this basement.
Jeez.
Oh wow,
It's not, but it's pretty warm.
that is a lot.
Well, luckily, we have those little um, radiator heaters for winter. That's great. But for summer, it's a portable air conditioner for downstairs.
What's going on, Cheyenne?
Hi, Cheyenne.
Hello.
I need to get those comments up. Okay, there we go.
And that's the one thing I always forget. I'm like, wait, this over there somewhere.
It's like, why am I not seeing anybody?
I am working on sharing this out. We got quite a few viewers, but
Yeah,
only
8 so
Cheyenne
far.
has. Yeah, I'm sharing this out.
I actually was expecting Brad, of course, to comment on it immediately like he usually does.
Brad is usually one of the first two or three to comment.
I haven't talked to him in a while. I've been crazy, but I haven't talked to him a little bit.
I just spoke with him last night.
This morning for me,
He's such a sweetheart.
he was showing me something that he's making for his daughter. He's actually printing out some of the accessories for her costume for when they come up to Perry Unity. And he's actually making stuff for her that she'll be carrying around with her during the trick or treating and the
wow.
Yeah. He's been showing me pictures, and this morning he was telling me that it's going to take him about 60 hours to print it all out.
Oh,
60
wow.
hours?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And when he starts a specific thing to print out, he cannot stop it until it is done.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So it's going to be a total of 60 hours with all the stuff that he's making for her because she's going as a zombie hunter.
Oh, jeez.
That's what Brad told me too, that she's going as a zombie hunter. Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying to talk her into going as Samara, but she wasn't having it.
Yeah, I remember. You told me that too.
Yeah. but she wants to go as a zombie hunter, so he's printing out all the different things like the machine gun and the blade and things like that.
I want one of those too.
Yeah.
See, when I was thinking zombie hunter, I thought she was going to be like,
Brad.
Oh, there he is. Yep. What's up, Brad? No, I was just thinking about the way how he told me that she was going to be a zombie hunter. I thought immediately something out of The Walking Dead.
That works.
Well, with the stuff that he's making for her, not necessarily out of The Walking Dead, but I'm thinking more realistically what you would see in a comic book.
Okay. Well, Walking Dead is also a comic series as well. It started as a comic
series. It is, but they don't necessarily do the things in the show like what they do in the comic book. Mm-hmm. Although they try to keep it faithful. There it is, the minigun,
sword.
Okay. Yeah. So she's going to be all decked out for this thing. Okay. So at least we have at least one person for the costume contest.
Oh, he said he's even printing off zombie heads for her to carry.
Wow. That would be cool.
Well, he could just use his own head for that. But, Just saying.
Well, you know what? I know someone who's made a zombie head, and I actually did a pose with a zombie head. So at a horror film con. What's going on, Mike?
Hello.
Okay, I know I haven't been on in a while paying attention to this, but my goodness, what the heck happened to Facebook? Under Things Universal, I go to share, you can't. It says like, comment, and give.
What?
Yeah. Well, that was part of when I had mentioned that I made the Universal page private. It also means that you can't share from it. That was one of the reasons why I did not want to go private, because you can't share from it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't helping out with the membership numbers, because all we were getting were participants where they could post and comment, but they are not shown as actual members, and that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no. Believe me, I mulled over that for weeks.
Brad. Oh, you're safe, Ilene. Zombies want brains.
I never said I had any, so we don't even have to go there.
I don't know about that. She's smarter than her employer, so. But then again, I think we all are.
Whatever. He's not kidding around. Don't give him any.
I'll tell you what. Nick and I are going to be meeting Brad Monday night.
Yep.
Wow.
And I am looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it too, but Brad basically says he's not going to get out alive by the end of this.
Oh, Brad, go look at my Facebook, my last Facebook post. You'll love it.
Yeah. So
Brad
So Ilene, speaking of which, I actually went on my computer instead because I wasn't very trustworthy of it. So I just scrolled down a little bit to it, and I started seeing that leg pop up. I'm thinking, I'm not opening this post. I will not open that, Ilene. As soon as in fact, as soon as I got off, I just deleted it, and that was it. Nice try. What's going on?
It was actually really interesting. If it's real, it was actually kind of interesting.
What is so interesting about them?
No, what the thing said.
Oh.
You're not going to look at it, are you, Nick?
I started scrolling down. I saw that leg, and I'm like, nope, not going to look at it. No way.
Okay, so basically what the post is talking about is that on certain kinds of roaches, I don't even know how somebody came up with this idea. I don't see how it's possible. I don't think it's true, but you know how people on Facebook are.
I'm gonna say I don't know, and regardless, it was funny because I'm not gonna test out the theory.
Well, she saw me back before the end of the show. I was looking at him like, huh? So somebody out there is saying that the milk that you can get from certain roaches are more nutrient. Look at the look on Nick's face.
I'm never going to be able to drink milk again after this.
You can get out of certain roaches are more nutritious than the kind you get from cows.
Yeah, I'm done drinking milk, and I just had milk earlier today, so probably after the show I'm going to throw the hell up.
Yeah, but you had cow milk. I don't think you'll ever have to worry about having roach milk.
Roaches don't go to Brad.
One, I don't see how it's even possible to get milk from a cockroach. I don't think it's possible.
I didn't even think not only roaches, but I didn't think any type of insect could make milk.
Yeah, number two, it's too damn small to make a glass.
Yeah.
Squish
so
it.
I don't think it's true.
I just don't see how that's possible.
Well, that's the same thing as when you go to a motel and you don't know if they have roaches or not. While you're sleeping, they're crawling up your nose and in your mouth, and you don't even know about it.
That's why I sprayed bug spray all over me before that happens.
Yeah, that doesn't help them. They live in an apocalypse. Are you kidding me?
I'm about to say.
And I was at a motel Friday night where it was cheap.
Hey, what's up, Beth?
Hi, Beth.
Good to see you.
Hey, sister.
This place was so cheap that it had no actual drying towels for when you take a shower, and it had no washcloths. Basically,
Gross.
I had 6 hand towels to work with.
6 hand towels.
I
That's
so
it.
could go somewhere with that, but I'm being so nice.
So basically, you were at a Roach Motel.
And you didn't take
Well,
Nick with you? That's his favorite place.
No, it's not.
No,
I
Nick,
like
Nick
clean
didn't go to
places.
this one here. This was for the Paranormal Days celebration convention that we had at the Hannah House over the weekend, which I got to tell you guys, that was an awesome event. It was an outdoor event. Clarissa came to help me with the booth, and I had a 10 by 10 canopy. She also had a 10 by 10 canopy. So we put both of them up and had one great big booth. We went right up against the, hey, Zach, we went
What's
right
up,
up
Zach?
against the house, so we were able to tap into the electricity. And, um, and little did I know when I picked the spot, we didn't find this out until towards the end of the setup, that we were right next to where they were going to be doing the tours, lining up the tours for the house. By and in fact, Jason, the one who spearheaded this entire event, when he put out the numbers, there was 2,000 people in attendance to this convention, and about 500 of them got tickets to go through the tours to the Hannah House. They did in an 8 hour day. They did over 30 tours of this building,
Holy crap.
Jeez.
and every one of those people went by our booth. And I'll tell you what, I had never had a booth, even at DeadCon last year. I have never had a booth so busy like we were on Saturday.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
Adrienne, Zach, every time he comes on first, I always say, well, there's the ugly one.
Okay.
That's what that's about.
Yeah, we
How's dinner coming, honey?
sold some shirts, a lot of bracelets. We made a lot of people aware of the Save Waverly Hills campaign. Did a lot of promotion for Brad and his equipment. There was even a lot of people coming by and taking pictures of Lucy.
I bet.
Oh, was this the most that she's ever gotten?
Probably.
Sure.
Yeah, because I had her sitting at the center of the table, and so many people coming up, and it's like, "Oh, is it haunted? What's the story with her?" So I probably told that same story 30 times yesterday.
Oh
I
my
think you need to
God.
write it out, put it on a plaque, and just leave it there when you go to places like that.
I had a guy suggested I get a glass case to put her in specifically for conventions.
That's warm.
Just like
Thank
with
you.
Annabelle.
Come
It
here.
sounds
Yeah,
a lot like that.
exactly.
Richard wants to say hi.
Hello.
Hi
I'm
there.
officially with them now.
Oh, he said he's officially ours now. We adopted him.
Okay.
Hey, can you grab the salt for me, please, bud?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I'm thinking seriously about possibly getting a glass case for her, just for conventions.
Yeah. It won't take too much before her face starts like peeling off.
Well, especially if you're going to have it at an outside event, it's probably best to have a glass case to protect her from the elements.
Yeah, of course she's been like shoved on top of a bed for the last 2 years.
Brad's had a good idea.
Make a video, make a QR code to the video.
Yeah, I
Make a
know.
video. What?
I didn't read that.
And Brad,
I
you are
think
not
I'm-
allowed to talk to my sister. You are not allowed to talk to my sister.
It's
What did
fine,
he do?
honey. Don't you worry about me.
Eileen, I need to know, what did he do?
No, he just isn't allowed to talk to my sister. It's my my sister.
And the weather was almost perfect.
What's up, Gavin?
Hey, Gavin.
Hi.
Gavin and his wife are on their way to, if they haven't reached it already, were on their way over to Gettysburg today.
Yeah.
And they were going live for quite a while on the drive, and I was in there interacting with them, and they would say some stuff, so I say some stuff back to them. He calls me an asshole, and all the old fun.
Still live on YouTube. We can hear you.
Is that still the same event?
Oh my God.
Is that the same event that David's going to be at? I think he's heading that way too. David.
Yeah, it is the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash.
Yeah, so everybody and their brother are headed.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. I'm not going. I am busy this weekend. I got other stuff that I need to tend to. So, and the thing about Gettysburg Bash, I understand the appeal of it, because when it comes to a historic location, you'd be hard pressed to find a bigger open area, a bigger place than Gettysburg.
Right.
With the story and the history that it has, you'd be very hard pressed to find a bigger place than that. But for me, that's way too many people I'd have to deal with.
Oh my God! I heard it's going to be crazy. I mean,
yeah.
and
trying to do an investigation with 500 other people, no.
That's just too tough. And although the funny thing is, and Jeremy, this is when we had Tom Nally on Tuesday night, I was actually invited to go. Of course, I had no way of getting out there, but I was only invited because one of the other networks, Tom Nally's network that I'm a part of, told me that if I was able to get there, they would have a seat ready for me on their booth table.
Yeah. So one of these days, I would like to go to Gettysburg, but privately.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it doing a public event like that, because that's just way too many people.
My father-in-law has books forever on Gettysburg and all that, and we decided that was some of the stuff we were going to keep when going through his stuff.
One other place I feel like that's often not normally focused on, because everybody also focuses on Gettysburg, but I'm surprised they don't have anything like this also for Antietam, Virginia, because that was where the bloodiest single-day battle of the Civil War occurred. They don't really have too much in Antietam compared to Gettysburg.
See, we don't really have anything for the Vicksburg battlefield either, like that.
Well,
come here, girl.
As much history as those two locations would have, the name are not as big as Gettysburg is, because Gettysburg is historic on more than one level, though.
Right.
Some of the other places, not so much, but Gettysburg is well, that's where Lincoln made one of his most famous speeches.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I hated memorizing that darn speech in high school. I hated that.
I got lucky. We never had to memorize speeches, historical speeches.
Neither did us. School. Neither did us.
Well, maybe that's because y'all had. Because you're still 2 years old, Nick.
No, I'm talking about high school.
Okay, so a year and a half in high school.
Yeah.
Long before that.
See, I mean, you would think with one thing with, like I said, with everything ending here in Vicksburg, with that being, right there at the end, you would think it would try to, they would have more stuff like that. But I guess because we're also in the Bible Belt, it doesn't really, they don't try to promote it.
when it comes to Civil War battles, the place that I personally would like to go to um, is that fort in North Carolina.
That's
Reed
for,
Green
this is
Lee.
for somebody.
Is that for Brad, Eileen?
That is for somebody else.
That fort in North Carolina where the first that's not right. That's not right.
You said it's in North Carolina?
I think it's North Carolina. It's where they were waiting on supplies from the north, and the north was going to bring them food, and the south was trying to keep them from giving them food and supplies.
That does sound a little familiar. I feel like I've heard of
Yeah,
it before, and I just can't memorize. I mean, just
I
can't remember exactly which one it
I
was.
want to say that it was where the very first shot was for the Civil War, but I'm trying to think.
I'm
Is
actually
is
looking
it
up right
the
now.
Revolutionary War where the very first shot and the very last shot was at the same place?
Was it Fort Fisher, Jeremy?
I don't remember. I just know that it was a fort and it was on the coast.
It's in it's at the port. It's in Wilmington, North Carolina.
I really don't remember.
That's on the coast. So
David.
It might be it then. Hi, David.
what's going on,
It might
Dave?
be it.
That might
I'm
be
not.
it.
Yeah, I am not 100% sure. That's just the story that I know that was where the very first shot was made.
Okay.
That started the Civil War.
Yeah, it would take too long for me to read all of it, so it might, but that could very well likely be this might be the fort.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
It also operated also during World War II. It doesn't say if it operated during World War One, however. So it did play a role in two of our historic wars. I also found this out around the 80s. Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Sorry, they were talking about something else.
I am still looking at groups to share this out. I'm not doing the share until I get stopped because the last time I did that, I lost all of the Facebook.
Yeah, that was bad. That was scary.
It was.
We've never seen anything like that. No way.
No,
I was getting nervous.
No, he said, can I?
And then, of course, it forced me to change my password because it locked me out. And I had just changed the password a week prior to that.
Upstairs before I even
Jeremy, let's actually look this up quickly. I mean, just to kind of help renew your memory. Was there is this familiar for you? Because there was something on the fort called the magazine explosion.
This is a little.
Does that ring a bell? The magazine explosion?
I haven't tasted it yet.
No.
Pretty sure it's fine.
It was a tremendous blast that occurred on January 16, 1865.
Hey, Shelby.
Base.
Yeah, it was a tremendous blast that occurred on January 16th, 1865, and it killed at least 200 men of both sides.
Wait, January of 1865?
January 16th of 1865, and this Fort Fisher's main magazine exploded, and it caused a tremendous blast that killed at least 200.
The Civil War started long before that.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying that this was one of the things that occurred at the fort. So, but it killed at least 200 men on both sides, north and south.
I'm gonna look this up.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah,
I already did the job.
That's his questioning. Let me check.
You know, another fort that I definitely would be interested in checking out that's also Civil War related is not in North Carolina, but in Georgia, Fort Pulaski.
Well,
So
here's the
not,
thing, Nick. If you ever came down that far south, you know you had to figure out something to do in Mississippi, or you would be grounded again.
well, I did go through. Did I ever go through Mississippi? No, I don't think I did when I was in school because we were going
Okay,
on.
let's quit talking about yesterday.
Well, that's quite a far drive for me to get to Georgia to Mississippi.
Not my
South
problem.
Carolina. It was
What's
South
that?
Carolina, Fort Sumter.
Oh, okay. All right,
That's
South Carolina then.
South Carolina. It was the Battle of Fort Sumter. That was
Okay.
where the first shot was at for the Civil War. I just had the wrong state. I had
What
the
was
right
you got?
name, the wrong person.
The wrong Carolina.
Yeah. So that's what it was. The the South was trying to prevent the fort from being able to get supplies from the North, and they were actually wanted more than just food. They were wanting weapons and ammo. But what Lincoln decided to do was send only the food, because then they would really have no military reason to keep them from getting the food. Um, because if they were trying to ship weapons to them, then that would give them cause to throw the first bullet. But they only sent food, but they still ended up shooting first.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
It is. So that's where I would want to go. Because to me that would probably have more history there, because it was the start of the Civil War.
Right.
Yeah, not taking anything away from Gettysburg, because it's historic in its own right. But I would prefer to go there, because that was where it all started.
Well, I'm saying the same thing too, even for Fort Pulaski. In fact, actually, if you guys didn't know, part of Fort Pulaski in Georgia was actually the filming location for the movie Glory. They shot part of the film there, and there was even a ghost story that followed
I
along
just
with
watched
it.
that a couple days ago.
Oh, you did? Did you ever hear Did you ever hear the ghost story that actually occurred while filming was occurring there? Did you ever hear what happened?
I never heard of it before.
So, from what I remember, the story was while they were taking a break from filming, some of the they didn't say exactly who it was. Some of the actors that played the soldiers, were just kind of walking around exploring the fort, and all of a sudden this guy comes up who's dressed up in, like, I think he's supposed to be either I think it's a Confederate soldier, and he starts yelling at him because he didn't salute them. I mean, these guys didn't salute him. And they said that, we need to hurry up because the North is on its way. They thought this guy was just a reenactor. So they actually played along and they got down like whatever positions they were in. And then they said, all right, what are we going to do next? They turn around and the guy was gone. And this was down a long hallway. There were no doors on the side. It would have taken quite a long time for him to disappear. But that actually did occur during the production of Glory.
Huh. Do you remember Ghost Lab?
Yeah, I remember Ghost Lab.
Well, it was the one brother. He said he caught something on film from the side of the road in Georgia, where he saw what appeared to be, hi Chrissy, what
Good to see you,
appeared
Chrissy.
to be a reenactment of Civil War soldiers, and he caught them on camera. So I just wonder how close the location that he was at, how close it was to where they were filming at that time.
Right.
I didn't know we were going to be doing history lessons tonight.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah. But I didn't have
like
any
over my
agenda.
head till I do a little bit more research. So
Well, we could do
That's
some
what-
history on how history repeats itself.
Yeah.
It just may not be some fun stories.
Yeah, that's one thing that, with what they're trying to do, destroying all of the statues and monuments down there in the South. Okay, if we get rid of that stuff and eventually people forget about the history of the South, we are doomed to repeat it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
you're right.
I believe it.
I mean, I
That's the
love
whole
history.
idea.
Go ahead.
No, I said that's the whole idea. That's what they're
How's
trying
that?
to do.
I love
Yeah.
history, but as far as knowing details, I have to kind of go and look at, kind of do a little bit of research before I'm like, oh yeah, because I love it, but sometimes it's hard for me to retain it. As Brad says, I have no brain.
So that makes you safe from the zombies.
There you go.
So that
Yeah.
means the zombies
So-
will just move on.
Yeah, so I guess that would make you safe being around Brad's daughter.
Exactly. And that's why Brad can be around it too.
Oh wait, no. She's going after the zombies, and you don't have to worry about the zombies. So you want her on your side, actually.
You better announce that you're still you, because like I've seen, sometimes they can be mistaken for a zombie.
Yeah, just like
Shelby.
one, at the end of Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, see, I knew you were gonna bring that up.
We just talked about that last week.
Yeah, I know. That's what I figured. So I thought you'd bring that up for a change.
Yeah, and what I really enjoy about talking about these horror movies is the messages that are embedded into the movies that are not obvious, but when you really think about it, like reading between the lines, just like what we were talking about the other day with Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
The biggest underlining message is keeping an eye on your kids.
Yep. Because that stuff like that has happened. In fact, it has happened. I mean, thankfully, not commonly, but it does happen every once in a while.
Yeah. And the thing with the Night of the Living Dead is not so much, okay, you got people going around eating people. It's more of, okay, you got this group of people. How are they dealing with the situation at hand?
Right.
Zombies are the one thing I can't do. I can't deal with, even on television. It's just something about zombies.
Because you don't have the brain.
Well, it's so funny because I can be sound asleep, and my husband can turn on something with a zombie, and I'm gonna have a nightmare, not even knowing that's what he's watching. But it's just something about zombies.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have never been a zombie fan until I started watching The Living Dead, the Walking Dead.
I was going to say The Living Dead.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that before. I know of Romero's films. I never heard of The Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead, but...
Yeah.
But
well,
no,
just that.
The thing that drew me to The Walking Dead was not because of what was going on. It was how people are handling it. Because the first two or three seasons of it was very Stephen King-esque. And that's what I like about it is, okay, we got this show about zombies, but you don't see the zombies that often in the movie. You are seeing the people and what they are having to do to survive. I remember that, Shelby. And I remember even seeing a picture of what they say was the guy but I can't imagine them releasing a picture like that to the public.
I'm trying to remember that was in The Walking Dead.
No,
No, this was something that happened in the news. This guy was.
What was he on?
Oh,
What was
wait.
it called?
No, actually, I did hear about that. It was some guy who cannibalized somebody.
Yeah, but what was it? What was the drug called?
Probably bath salts. That was
That's
doing
it.
some crap like that.
It was
bath salt.
Yeah. And the guy whose face that he ate, if I remember right, he was a homeless man.
Yes.
And there was a picture going around of what the guy looked like after, but I can't imagine them actually releasing a picture like that to the public.
I have not seen that picture. I don't know if I want to though.
It's not pretty.
Yeah, I like gory stuff, but when it comes to the real stuff, life stuff, that's a different story.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
No, this is going to be funny.
Brad.
No. Oh.
Wasn't it the zombies that told him that his ex-wife?
He must not like his ex-wife very much.
No,
okay.
I haven't, Shelby.
The video. I didn't know
There's
there was
a video. No way.
No, Shelby, I did not know there was a video of this. So Saturday, I finally was able to get some time to walk around the convention at the Hannah House, and I get to this one spot, and there was this little girl. She had a leg on a bench, and this lady was what I thought was cleaning a cut that she had because she had blood going down her leg. It turns out that she is a wound artist, and she was putting this wound on her leg, and it looks so realistic because I thought she was cleaning up the wound.
My brother-in-law does stuff like that.
Yeah, it was really cool. She's very good. After I seen that, then I would see several other people walking around with stuff either on their leg, their arm, their face, and it looks real. I am hoping that she goes to Perry Unity next month, in October.
So basically, she's a makeup effects artist then.
She is. But and she specializes in superficial wounds.
See, my brother-in-law used to do all that for like the drinking and driving commercials in town. But he also did all the haunted houses and all that. Used to walk in his house and there'd be like arms hanging from his ceiling.
Yeah, it was pretty cool the way that she did it because I almost went into that panicked father mode when I saw her leg the way that she was, and then I saw that sign right behind her, and it said small wounds $10, large wounds $20. So it was a small one that she was putting on her leg, and like I said, it looks so real.
You know, I just got to say in response to Shelby's comment, how she said she loves the special effects makeup. I know it sounds partially unrelated, but Shelby, I think you probably know I do a show on Wednesday nights where I do presentations, and I'm actually going to be doing a presentation real soon as the Halloween special that actually does deal with special effects makeup. I think that's something that you're really going to like. So, but I'm keeping it a secret though, so wait till October to see it.
You know, speaking of Halloween, one thing I would love to see at some point is a show, not necessarily any of our shows, but just some show where they do a special on the old Halloween costumes, the ones that truly scary.
Oh, absolutely! I've seen pictures of. I remember seeing something like that on somewhere on Facebook. It was a couple years ago. It was pictures that were taken. I think it actually might have been around Halloween of 1900, and the costumes they had in those days, turn of the 20th century, way different than what we have nowadays. And I have to admit, you look at these pictures of these old-fashioned costumes, they're actually pretty scary looking. Even if they were trying to be scary, they're actually, to me, far more terrifying than today's costumes.
I'm getting.
Oh, geez. What did Brad write? Oh, I'm going to paint all those zombie heads as a supernatural crew. The eye patch, snake, Bliskin, the road just all over the head. The snarky looking head. And there is like, wait, I'm going to write I hate coffee all over it.
Yeah, well, see, then everybody would know that would not be me.
The I hate coffee would be on me and Nick.
Everybody who knows me knows I live off of, especially iced coffee. I live off of iced coffee.
Well, Brad said earlier his daughter loves Starbucks.
Well, me and his daughter would get along, but doesn't mean me and Brad will.
You were, oh my gosh, you were a walking trash bag with the old costumes. No. He was responding to what I was saying earlier. Nope, it wasn't those type of costumes, Brad. It was something far different than what they had back in the day.
Oh, Nick, before I forget, did you get a response concerning tomorrow's show?
Yeah, Barry got back to me yesterday, although I messaged him back. He hasn't got back, but he told me he's still planning on coming. I'm not sure about Gary, though. I mean, I asked him because I know we've been trying to get a hold of him. I guess for some reason he never said anything about it to Gary because he's the one who's obviously in contact with him. So worst comes to worst, we might only have just Barry on.
Okay. Because I hadn't set up the studio for tomorrow yet. I've been waiting on whether they wanted to be on or not.
Yeah, he's still planning on coming on, although I'm going to have to send him a message later tonight because he usually only responds better through email. So as soon as, when the show is over tonight, I'm going to email him and let him know that, if you want to come on to the show, be ready. Because I did tell him the time, 7 o'clock Central Time. So, I'll tell him later tonight saying just be ready by that time. Well, no, he lives in California, so they're an hour behind me, right?
2
hours. Yeah. So it'd be 5 o'clock his time then.
Adrienne's an hour behind you.
Right.
It's weird how that goes. You're like, hold on, where's the line there? But yeah, as long as people aren't on the line, we're good.
Brad, you would get along too because she likes to gang up with people and pick on me.
Well, that's the thing, Brad. I don't need other people for me to pick on you. I've got this.
Yeah, just like you did with my cop. You did that completely on your own.
No comment.
Hey, she brought it up, and I'm just giving her an example.
Yeah.
No, I'm behaving.
And I completely lost train of thought.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
Just mark this as the day I am behaving.
Yeah. In case anybody's wondering, my 13th dimension, I do have it. This is just a different, it's a tablecloth that I have here. And I had this put up because I'm getting ready to work on another project that only one other person knows that's been sworn to secrecy and
the hell, Eileen?
The hell was that?
Laptop kind of.
So eventually, I will announce what's going on because this right here is part of that project. But I do have my 13th dimension draped that I will be putting back up here. I just didn't have time to put it back up today.
Your shoulders are hurting.
Hey, Mike! Wifey needs a shoulder rub.
Did he hear that?
He's probably gaming.
I doubt he could hear that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being sarcastic.
He's probably gaming.
He's gaming? I didn't know he does that. too.
My whole family games. What are you talking about?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They use
And
Twitch?
Okay, y'all want to know the nerd family? Yes, Nick. We play D&D here.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, never mind.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Man, that's an old one.
Yeah, we play D&D. Now we're on hiatus on it, but right now, but we play D&D.
I didn't know that was still around.
Yep.
Brad.
I remember back when I was in school, and the house that I was living in, it was actually behind 3 other houses, and the one house in the middle had this huge backyard, and I remember looking out the kitchen window, and there's this group of kids in that backyard just hanging around. And one time I was hanging with them, and they were telling me what they were doing. Oh yeah, we do this role playing thing, Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, okay, cool. How do you guys do this? Oh, we just talk about what we're doing. That's it.
We got the map, we got the characters, we got you name it.
They didn't. They didn't have any accessories, no map, no cards, no nothing.
No, we have like the whole. Now my son restarted the D&D club when he was in high school, and he still plays it online with his friends. Like not online, but on the come on, Shelby, but with his friends would be all on the phone and all that. They started doing it over the phone when everybody graduated high school.
Yeah.
But I used to have to drive him to his friend's house to play D&D. We have a game room around here that does it. Yep.
I'm sure by now they probably have 1,000 different games just like that now.
I'm surprised Nick doesn't know what D&D is. That's kind of surprising me.
Honestly, I never really got into it very often. Cause, like, you guys have to remember, I'm more of a survival horror game player, so I like a lot of the horror survival games. So,
now, Michael plays, I think he might be playing 7 Days to Die right now.
7 Days to Die. Okay, that's something new.
Sounds like something that you'd want to play.
I'm looking it up right now. In fact, it's on Steam.
It used to be Red Dead was his thing, but now it's 7 Days to Die.
Oh, it's a zombie game.
Hence why he plays downstairs.
Yeah, and they have it on Steam. All right, you know what? Now I need. How much is it? Is it? Okay. You know what? I better hold off on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to make an online purchase.
Hold that. Actually, it's about like $25. But Steam, however, though, they do give good discounts, like on certain days or holidays or something. So I'll just wait until there's a discount for it. Because right now I'm just trying to save up for Mansfield. So it can wait.
Well, yeah, you're too busy anyways to play right now. Anyways, hello.
I'll tell you what, I am so looking forward to Mansfield.
Me too.
It'll be my first time going there. I've only driven through the city when I was going either to New York or Vermont, and I think I saw the prison from the highway, but I'm not sure. But I am so looking forward to this. Not only because, one, this is where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption.
I hate I'm not making that one.
Jeremy, I have to admit, I'm surprised you didn't see Mansfield sooner, like when you were driving through, because that place it's massive. I mean, it's not a hard place to miss. Like,
well, that's why I'm thinking that I saw it from the highway, from 30.
Right.
But I do know that there's another prison right beside it.
No, behind it. It's actually the modern day Mansfield. They literally built it right behind the old one.
Okay, so depending on how it's situated with the road, I don't know which one I would have seen from 30.
Yeah, Mansfield pretty much even today, although the old Mansfield no longer operates, it kind of is a prison town because the one that's directly behind it, it's not even called Mansfield. It is it's from they actually call it the Richland County Detention
Oh,
Center. Oh, what do we have here?
yeah, that's
Facebook user from South Dakota.
Okay, who is it?
and I have been neglecting our banner, so I do apologize for that.
Well, this is our first Facebook user showing up. So
Yeah. So with that, I am going to go ahead and send the link out for this individual.
Like I said, a lot of it's just what page you go to, how you go to someone's page, because like I said, I'm on obviously StreamYard and it's giving them permission, but it just keeps sometimes if you go certain places, it just
Yeah. The other day you showed up as Facebook
yep.
user.
And I mean, hello,
Yeah. So I have no idea
but I
why
have gone through, I believe yours or Nick's page instead of things. I went through either
it
yours
wouldn't
or
have been
Nick's
through my
page.
page.
Was it your page?
No, it wouldn't have been my page.
Yeah, it was one of y'all's pages, so it must have been Nick's. And because it wasn't, if you don't go through the actual things and you go through, it'll do that.
Yeah, so we've been telling people come over to the Things Network page.
yeah, we've been doing that repeatedly, especially on
Yeah,
Don's show.
in
Brad,
fact,
I'm
we are
not
going
going.
to go ahead and do that.
We got something a little closer that.
So Facebook user, please click on that link.
Chrissy just goes. Her name is
Hello,
Holly German. Yeah.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Thanks, Chrissy.
Hey, well,
It's really cool though. It's really cool though. You don't really have too many investigators from the Dakotas, so that's something interesting. No, we were just trying to figure out who you were.
It's this thing with Facebook and StreamYard, depending on where you go, depending on what page, it won't show your name, but if you go to another page, it will.
Yeah, if you actually go to things and go in that way, a lot of times it'll if you've already given StreamYard permission. Obviously.
So if you go to the Things Network link that I just gave you there, the Facebook / Things Network, it should be okay. No promises.
To do lives with my group, she got said I hear. Oh, this is a nice compliment.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, answering Brad's question there. No, Ilene and I are not going, but there is something a lot closer that we are going to go to. So, yeah, why don't you plan on coming out there, Brad?
Well, then you are going to miss out on the awesomeness that is meeting me.
Nah.
No, actually, Brad, you might be getting off easy on that one because if I were Adrienne or Ilene, I would be showering you with nothing but coffee.
What you do is you handcuff him to like the ground, and put him on the ground, and take all this coffee and just keep pouring it down his throat through a funnel. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Like I've been thinking about that, like funneling coffee down his throat.
No, Brad, you have to come to Kansas, and the awesomeness that is meeting Ilene and I.
Yeah, and cuff up. You know what? I was just thinking of a joke involving coffee.
What kind of show did this just go to?
I was about to say, I know we're since we're going out of prison, I would have said something about coffee, and well, you know what? No, I'm actually going to stop. I'm not even going to go there. I just thought of something funny. I don't know if I want to say it or not.
Well, if you don't, somebody else will.
Don't worry, Nick. Somebody will go there.
You know what? Maybe I'll just wait until I see him, and then I'll tell him.
I have been behaving, not going there. So do not keep pushing it.
I'm not pushing you.
I am trying not to pick on too many people tonight.
Hello.
Hey, Brad said that he can 3D print handcuffs.
Ooh.
Don't even know what he'll be doing with those.
This is
I don't
probably
need
a
to.
different Facebook user.
I'm guessing that's Holly.
Whoever said, "Hey, girls."
Troy Haney, what's up, Troy?
Hello. So okay, so I'm this is a question for Brad. Now that he brought up printing out the handcuffs, if
Oh boy.
you were to print out handcuffs like that, would they be as sturdy, as strong as real handcuffs?
And inquiring minds want to know, Jeremy.
That's right.
The key that opens them.
Hey, it's Adam. What's up? I know exactly who that is. Push a GG Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
That's what GG means. And with that, when it says Hefty, I know it's him. So good to see you, Adam.
I was wondering if I thought that was him.
It is him. If you see Hefty, you don't even have to ask. That's him.
No.
Jeremy, I actually found something really cool. A Cyborg Terminator 3D printed eye patch.
No.
Yeah, go ahead and share.
Yeah, absolutely. Share us everywhere.
Depends on the strength. I set the infill to.
Okay. So he's talking about the settings on his printer.
Sure, that's what he's talking about.
We'll go with it, right?
Just we'll say so.
So I do want to bring something up.
Wicked Wiccan Sisters will be at the old jail in southern Indiana this weekend.
I know the Wicked Wiccan Sisters, Stacy and Nicole, and I met them. Well, we had them. Scott and I had them on the 13th Dimension last year, and that was when they first. That was their first public exposure.
Okay,
And
I don't know who that is, but you got it.
Wonder if that's Holly.
Mm-mm.
It might be Holly.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to meet up at Perry Unity, and what is it?
I remember them being on.
Yeah.
I don't want to share you, Jeremy. Dang, I'm territorial. Hey, what's up, Jill?
Well, there she is.
Haven't seen you for a while, girl.
I don't know. You may have a fight there with Jill on that one.
Well, okay, hold on. So it's been 59 minutes. So Jill was probably making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
No, she might be making some ramen noodles.
No, she's on. That was 3 hours. We had to go something a little bit faster.
You sure wasn't coffee?
Okay, so what's that, Holly?
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich that took about an hour to do.
Print off an Iron Man suit.
Yeah. So
was that Holly earlier talking about coming up?
I walked in on the handcuffs and coffee down Brad's throat.
Jeremy.
Huh?
Can you see the other page? Was that Holly that was talking about coming up to Colorado?
I'm not looking at any of the pages. I don't have anything on my phone. I just have it in front of me. It was Chrissy that saw that it was Holly that was commenting.
Yeah, I think we got a couple now.
But we do have one of the wicked Wiccan sisters. I don't know if it's Stacy or Nicole. But we were supposed to meet up at Perry Unity, and they were having medical issues with their dad. He ended up passing away later on. Um, after Perry Unity, he passed away,
Add me.
but I don't remember if he passed away before or after the Witches' Ball, because we were supposed to also meet up at the Witches' Ball, which they were co-hosting, and they asked me to come out to set up there and to also do the investigation there. And the investigation that we had, okay, it's Nicole. The investigation that we had, it was an outdoor convention, and it was more of a metaphysical convention. So Blake and I were there representing things, and we were the only paranormal team there. So we had quite a few people coming to us to find out what we're all about, because we stood out from everybody else, because everybody else was selling crystals and sage and all of that. We want, and we did an investigation. So about
Stacy. No, it's Stacy, Jeremy.
in our state. Okay, so we got both of them. Actually,
I guess they're both on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check that out.
So Nicole and Stacy are sisters, and I have met two others on their team. I met one at the Bell Mansion, and then the other one was at the Henna House, but I don't remember their names. So there was an investigation in the woods. The woods is like, I say, a half mile, maybe more behind the house where we were set up, and it was kind of interesting. I need to get back there, but it's pretty cold that night too. Then I actually finally met the girls at the Bell Mansion in person. I went there because it was one of those events where Tony Moran was at, the original face of Michael Myers. So went there, and I didn't know that they were setting up there, and finally met them and talked to them for a good while, and then met up with them again at the Hannah House. So they are really cool. They got some very unique stuff. They have the death mask of John Dillinger and someone else. I can't remember who that other person was, but they had two of them there. They were also selling an old embalming kit that was in some sort of a glass case. There was also a Ouija board that they had in a glass case that is supposed to be haunted by the person that used to have it. And then they had something else that was a doll. They were selling a doll that is supposed to be haunted as well. They had some really, really unique things. So that made their booths stand out from many of the other people, because most of the people that were there at the Hannah House, they were doing the metaphysics. They had psychics and people doing readings and tarot cards. Hell, just across from us, there was 5 of them right in a row doing readings. I would figure that for something like that, you would want them separated, but no, they had them all clustered up there together. And it was the same way on the other side of the property. They had 5 or 6 of them all right there.
That Greg's all the Ouija board in the case.
They need to come closer this side so we can all get to see everybody. 69 Ouija board that'll look great next to it, I bet.
I think they're all just scared of the South. They can't handle this heat.
We did meet face to face before the podcast, like in person.
The travel embalming kit.
Yeah, that's the one one of the things that they had for sale. They had some really unique stuff.
Do that.
Did they mention who the other death mask was? No, they didn't. But they had 2 death masks. One of them was John Dillinger. Another one was someone else. They had it labeled, but I don't remember what the other name was. I do want to get them. I do want to get Stacy and Nicole back on the show. Probably on this show because 13th Dimension is going on hiatus in a couple of weeks, and don't know if it's coming back or not, but definitely want to get those two onto this show sometime.
I'm so lost with all these Facebook users. I really cannot tell who's talking.
One of them is Stacy, and the other one is Nicole, and another one is Holly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm getting so lost with.
Do us a favor. Next time you comment, put your name at the end.
Yes,
We know who's who.
It's driving me. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Do I have you on my
Holly, Stacy, Nicole, put your name at the end of every comment that you make, so we know who's who.
Yeah, I was trying to message her, but I don't know if she's. Add me. If I'm not, then if I am, message me. Please message me and I'll share you in my groups.
Yep, see, even Jill's smart enough to put this up.
Problem is, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link back on here again, so that okay.
Is this Holly saying this, or
We'll find out soon enough.
yeah, so close. I got a feeling this is Holly talking.
The wicked
Say it.
the sisters
Slow down.
the sisters live an hour away from me.
I'm gonna look and see if I got you on my list.
Oh, this was Holly, yeah.
Yeah.
Saying you add me. Yeah, we can't see it, but use the oh, you already have. Oh wait, I thought that was the banner right there.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Whenever you make a comment, put your name at the end of it before you send it, so we know. So that we know.
If you can do it, just give StreamYard permission so we can see your names, as Jill said it.
Yeah, and I put the link out there for everybody.
Oh, he also said, don't forget the 4-in-1. We will need it for the experiment.
I've actually already got my bag packed for that. So my equipment bag is already ready to go. All I got to do is pick it up when we leave. Oh, and Nick, on that, be careful when you guys come into the neighborhood on Monday. They're doing a lot of road construction, and they are literally right in front of the house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can still get through. You can still get through and get into my driveway. It's just very, very tight right now.
How long has that been going on for?
They just started a week ago.
Oh, so it's all still just getting started.
It just started. They start. Well, no, actually, it's now been going on for almost 2 weeks. They started last week, and it's going to keep continuing on until about the middle of November. What they're doing is they're replacing the sewer line all the way down the street, and then they're going to be repaving the road and redoing everybody's driveway.
Jeez.
Yeah,
wow.
And they're doing it in 3 segments. Initially, ours were supposed to have been last, but it seems like they're doing it first now.
Jeez. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You know what, and I feel that because we've had that happen actually about 2 years or I think it was about 2 years ago we had that issue in our neighborhood. So it's definitely frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, but luckily all the noise that they're making, I don't hear it in the house. So I'm pretty lucky on that one.
I don't know if I'm going to let my wife be in the cell block when we do it. Doesn't want her getting attacked again or anything.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, they're just doing their job. It's just like anywhere. It's not just Indiana. Like Indiana.
At least
I mean, that's
dollars are going somewhere.
Yeah, so that's definitely Nicole there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this project here, we have been waiting for years for them to finally do this. And now that they are, and I'm actually glad that they're doing it now, because by the time it gets around to where the road closures and everything like that, I am going to be stuck at home where I'm not going to be feeling like driving anywhere. So the timing couldn't have been more perfect.
Jill is asking if Brad was going to do any lives from Mansfield, but he doesn't know yet.
Yeah, it was so funny. We did that deer processing place this past weekend. And, I told y'all my husband's been going on investigations with me now. And they had the SLS camera there, and he had never actually used one. And they were actually chasing.
Yes, I am, Jill.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. She was just asking if I was going to Mansfield, too. I'm riding with Jeremy. At least part of it. Sorry, Ilene.
Oh, no, you're fine. He was actually got a chance to kind of chase something around the whole building because it kept trying to hide from him. And you could see it like crouch down, then stand up, and then even got like on top of the freezer, different things like that, just in different corners. And it just kept hiding. So he had him a field day this weekend.
Oh boy.
Oh jeez.
So it's going to take him a minute to.
We'll have about 50 things on our end.
As a matter of fact, I can.
Yeah, and I want to comment also for Brad saying it depends on reception. Yeah, if we do any lives, because I've been there quite a couple of times, very much like kind of is with Crown Point Jail, Jeremy. There's going to be some areas you're going to have connection, other times you're not. So it all depends. If anybody does lives, it all depends on where you are, because it's a huge building. So it might be only, you can kind of say our lives will be somewhat relatively limited. Where's my salute, Ilene?
There you go.
Oh, they're going to Old Jail Inn on Friday and the Indiana State Sanatorium on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Old Jail Inn. Where's that at?
That's in, I've heard of the Old Jail Inn.
I've heard of it.
Jeez. Oh, wait, no, you know where it's at? Actually, I remember now, because I've been there. Also in Rockville, Indiana.
Is it?
Yeah, it's directly in the town, in downtown, because remember when I used to tell you, like, when we used to go over there for the Covered Bridge Festival, we were at Turkey Run In? When you get into town, the building is just pretty much on the other side of the courthouse. Okay. So, although the only issue I would say, if you ever do stay a night at the Old Jail Inn, unlike hotels where you got your full doors, literally your room you're staying at is nothing more than just cell doors. They're bars. So you could literally hear what's going on in the next room.
We can actually put probably some more like.
Yep, even they got it right. Rockville, yep.
Make it thinner.
Well, one of these days, I do want to get it into the Indiana State.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to for a while, but for the first while, all it was is that if anybody was getting into that place, they were trespassing. Yeah, so they just finally got it to where people can legally go in there about a year or so ago.
Yeah,
I think it's when we finally opened it up.
In this entire time that I used to go to Rockville, like for the Covered Bridge Festival, I never even knew that place existed. All these years I've been going since I was younger. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, I knew about that place for 3 years,
Or he's got some crazy going.
but all it was is that people had to trespass to actually get in the building. But now that it's, I will. But now that it's open, I do want to get in there.
It almost makes me want to ask my dad if he heard about this place. Because again, even though we don't go as much anymore because of different reasons, he's been going to, because Turkey Run is in the next town over from Rockville. It's in Marshall, Indiana. He's been going there since 1975. So that now makes me want to wonder if he heard about Indiana State all these years before myself and my siblings were even born.
Well, before it wasn't always the Indiana State Sanatorium. It used to be called the Poor County Asylum.
It was hang on. Wasn't it the Park County Poor Asylum?
Poor Park County Asylum. That's what it was. That's what it was called. And then when it was bought and cleaned up, they changed the name to Indiana State Sanatorium. Poor Park County Asylum. That's what it was.
Actually, wait. Now I'm actually I'm looking something up about it because now that I mentioned that name. Oh shit! Yeah. Well, wait a minute. I think I may. You know what? I think I may have actually. Well, no, because I'm looking up Park County Poor Asylum, and then I'm looking up Indiana State. It looks like it's all like two. Is it? Are you sure it's not two separate buildings?
No, they renamed it.
Okay, because the reason why I asked is, upon looking it up, I may have actually been there, and not to mention, I probably actually. Well, not just me. My dad was involved too, but I think we both actually passed on to that place. But there was no fence. The door was wide open. You literally just
I know
right
that's the whole thing. It's completely open. There's no there was nothing there. All it was is just a building that was collecting trash and all kinds of crap. That's all it was. And then it got bought out, and the owners started cleaning it up. And yeah, you can stay open. Oh, at the jail. Hi, Denny. Adrienne.
Denny?
I'm actually talking to our buddy, Denny.
I've been in every location starting when I was 12. No, I didn't start investigating until I was 14.
Denny is Adrienne's mentor.
Hey, Jeremy, he wants to know, for some reason, it's in his head, and he has to know how your daughter is.
She's doing well. She's doing well. She started going back to public school a week ago. And they are actually working her slowly, starting her off 2 hours a day to where she goes in full days. So they're starting her off 2 hours a day just to get her acclimated to it, used to it, and then they just start tacking on more time as they go. And I don't know what the time schedule is to go from 2 hours to full days. They might be at full days now. I don't know.
He's going back next week, so yeah.
Good. That's good. And yes, Brad, I do have a thermal.
So do I. I got the floor cam. Well, for the phone, however.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Are you able to record video on yours, Nick?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I can only take still pictures on mine.
Jill, I've been involved in the subject since I was 12. I didn't start actually investigating until I was 14. And I haven't been in every location yet. But yeah, I could do it. What?
Nothing.
But I didn't hear it, but okay. But no, like I said, yeah, though, yeah, my floor camera allows to record, so I'll have it ready. The only problem is with when I connect the floor camera to my phone, and I got to try to get something like this before Mansfield, but I have to take the entire OtterBox on the phone. So because so you know what I mean, Eileen. Yeah, you just you got to take the entire case off, so your phone is exposed, and if you drop it, especially at a place like Mansfield, has nothing but concrete floors and rocks and whatever, it's over. Then it can get pretty ugly for your phone. So the only time I might be able to use it is when I'm sitting down, because I don't trust it while I'm standing.
See, I've got the actual clear, almost just like a camera.
Yeah.
But the problem is it keeps calibrating over and over, and so I just quit using it because the calibration was making noise. And
that's what mine does too.
Yeah, I quit using it because of that.
Oh, I just thought of something, Jill. When you showed us a picture of your house and how it looks similar to the Old Lake County Jail, I found another house, and I have a picture on my computer. I forget the name of this location, but it looks identical to your house. So after the show, I'll send you the picture, Jill. So keep an eye on your phone. Pay attention.
Pay attention. You got orders.
Just pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention.
I mean, nobody pissed anybody off.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah,
that doesn't even happen. I mean, you can't do that.
Jill, that SLS camera wasn't from us. That was from what was her name? The owner of I
would have gotten mad over anything anyway.
Well, no, she got some captures because she only saw it. Jill only saw it because I had my Facebook Live running. Yeah, I'll send you a picture, Brad. It's actually relatively small, believe it or not. So it's like a little tiny handheld, not even a handheld camera.
Yeah, she said, nope, not with her ADHD. So that's why you keep your phone in your hand after the show.
Yeah. If anyone has, it's usually me.
Things get lost in this house.
Keep it away from the pot if you're still cooking.
Yeah, that SLS didn't belong to us. That Jeremy, remind me, what's her name? The owner of Wildwood. I already forgot.
Brooke. Oh, you're thinking of Lori.
Lori, yeah. Lori was the one who had the
SLS. Lori, she actually sold the building to her daughter, Brooke. That way, well, she's already posted it. She is battling cancer right now. Lori is. So they've already got the building transferred over to Brooke, fully in her name. That way, if anything happens, the building is already taken care of. They don't have to worry about it.
Right.
They don't have to go through the whole thing about having to produce certificates and all of that crap.
Well, Joe makes a good point about the SLS, how there was something holding my hand. I did feel something hold my hand when I was lying on the embalming table. That she was talking about when the SLS camera captured it.
Yeah.
I can't believe something.
I've got my own feelings on the SLS cameras. Everybody knows pretty much how I feel about them. Especially because with the embalming table that Nick is laying on, the table itself and its stand, it's shiny. It's got a gloss to it. And the SLS camera is just looking for stuff to grab onto and then making a design off of that. So
you do have to be careful with a lot of things on it. And that's most of our equipment, period.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is. I am really harsh on equipment.
Yeah.
Even the dog whistle.
Well, but I've been experimenting with the dog whistle just to come up with validation on that.
Thank goodness it wasn't, Brad. No, it wasn't, because I would have ran
It's
out of
just a
there.
roach. Were we even on cockroaches at that time? Or did it happen after Wildwood?
I think it would. I think that was after Wildwood.
Okay. Yeah, so the SLS camera, I am extremely harsh on it. It's just like old pictures. Put it away. That's just how I personally am.
It just all depends. Now, like I said, if it's like with what was going on with us, I mean, there was no the way it was moving. It was not trying. You could tell it was something. Something was a little different. I mean, and I think almost anything can grab. As far as spirits can manipulate almost anything, but in the same token, it can also almost any of our equipment can detect something that's not there.
Yeah.
I think it goes both ways.
And even with the thermal, with just heat and cold, you still got to be careful because you may get a spot and you got to really know what that is before you can make a determination on what it is. You got to know what it is.
Right.
That's why we are investigators, not ghost hunters.
Exactly.
See, that's one reason, like stuff like that. I mean, 90% of the places I go, the first thing that gets shut off is the air conditioning. Now we might turn it on, let it cool it off a little bit, but most of the time we just if it's got air conditioning, we shut it off.
Something where a lady was using a GPS camera in her car at a cemetery and kept spotting out a person in front of the car, but visibly nothing there.
Oh wow.
GPS camera?
I've seen that.
I have not seen that, so I would like to see that.
I think it may have been. Go ahead, Adrienne. Sorry.
There was a guy that sent me a video, and he wasn't into the paranormal, nothing like that, and I don't even know where he come up with me, but he was a truck driver, and he pulled over, and he just like it was a dirt road or something, and he just had to stop, pulled over, and the camera was going, and there was something across the road, and it looked almost solid. It was human.
Okay.
And then you could see it walk back across and stop and look, and then walked away. And there was nothing on that road. He was like way out there.
Wow.
That was pretty cool.
This video that Jill's...
I'd like to see that.
I'd like to see that too, but this video that Jill is talking about, come to think of it now, I think it may have actually been on that show, Paranormal Caught on Camera.
Hey, Adrienne and Zach had that on when I got into town. Oh, some of the stuff that they had.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. And as much as I was trying to pay attention to them when they were speaking, my eye just kept going to that camera to see, okay, what ridiculous thing are they going to have up there? And we even talked about it.
Denny says, I use the SOS stationary pointed at an area when there is nothing for it to grab onto and leave the area. That way there's nothing to trigger it.
Yeah, I remember one person, I forget who it was, I remember one person saying, point it to a wall where there's nothing on the wall and that has a like a flat matte paint on the thing where there is no gloss to it, no shine, it's just flat.
Hey, why not use the same cam feature for cars, but a handheld or body held form of its technology and used for ghost hunting?
All kinds of cameras, yes. All kinds of cameras. In fact, it might even be the same kind of camera that they put They're on that little harness thing that people wear.
I'm actually plan on getting one of those, believe it or not. Those harnesses for cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all. Yeah, I figured it was from Paranormal Caught on Camera because I saw a video just like that on the show once.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know about going live at Mansfield, but I am going to try to take. I am going to take my camcorder and try to do a little bit of filming out there just to get get some footage on the place. But I
It's
don't know if I'm going to focus on trying to go live there or not.
right.
Because it'll be my first time there, so I don't want to be
Wrapped up.
focusing on an audience when I need to focus on this place. It'll be my first time there. I need to get this place down. Then the next time I go there, then I'll think about going live.
It's still going to be cool either way because even
Yeah.
though it's going to be your first time, and even though I've been there quite a couple of times, it's still even going to be somewhat a debut for me because it'll be my first time ever going to Mansfield at night. All the other times I've been there was during the day and for the Parasite Con, and that was basically it. Because
I thought you investigated there at night last year when you went to that Psycon.
no, that was just that was one of the. They had like this one room that you could turn up that you're allowed to keep the light on or not. You could turn it off. That was full daylight that we did. That was the only room I could actually do like a dark investigation, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Everywhere else, there was a lot. There were people that were there for the con, and there were others who were just going for the tours.
So y'all got all those interesting places up that way. And we got interesting places down here, but they're obviously not nearly as old as some of the stuff up there. They're, just more history up there than down here.
Yeah, the New England area has all the older stuff as far as the buildings go. But when it comes to locations, um, just about anywhere would be good to go, and it'll still be really really old, especially the Indian caverns that they have out in Arizona and New Mexico.
You also have to realize, too, believe it or not. I mean, as hard as it sounds to believe, there's probably some even older places than we would have expected in like the West Coast areas, because you also have to remember parts of the United States were once Mexican territories. So, you also kind of have to look into the history of what used to be part of Mexico, before they became part of the United States.
Well, I know, like here, you have to kind of, a lot of things got burned down. So it's a lot of it is land that ends up being haunted because so much got burned down here
Right.
during the Civil War.
Have you ever thought of maybe hanging up a noose somewhere in the prison as a trigger object and see what comes through from that? Just ideas.
Okay, so let's talk about that. There is a guy. I'm not going to mention his name. There is a guy that I know that will actually hang himself on an investigation. He will put the noose. Hi, Jennifer. He will put the noose around his neck. He will tighten it to the point where he is just barely getting any oxygen.
Oh my goodness!
Jeez.
He
okay,
will.
I'm not into investigating that much. Sorry.
Yeah,
he tried dressing up as a prison guard.
He is a self-professed most extreme ghost hunter is what he calls himself, and he takes things to the extreme, to the point where safety becomes questionable. And I've investigated with this guy.
That would be my luck. My luck would be that moment that, oh crap, the chair falls or this or that. Nope. I draw lines. I'm not ready to be a ghost yet.
Right. And I'm like, okay, if you want to do this, go ahead and do it. But you are not jeopardizing anybody's safety, including your own, in front of me. Um, I have investigated with him before at Bobby Mackey's, in fact. Um, and I will say this, in person, he was the nicest person. He was very nice. But when you look at him on Facebook, he comes across as the most egotistical person, arrogant person you'll ever meet. But in person, he was not like that at all.
If
So
he
it's
come
like,
across that way, you can bet he's not on my friends list if I've seen any of that.
yeah,
Jeez.
Really?
he's
But
like
a lot of people
night
are
and
like
day.
that. What they show, and they don't understand what they show people is so not who they are. I mean, and sometimes who they truly are is better than what they show. And I
No,
don't
it's not
understand that.
Zach, Joe.
No, it's not.
I'm surprised it's not, though. Sorry, Eileen, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. I was
Hon-
done.
Honestly, I don't think Zach has the gall to put a noose around his neck and do anything like that.
He's running, screaming, demon, demon. Then he goes
Yep.
back to the hotel and lets the crew have it.
Oh yeah, he does do that, but he is not going to put a noose around his neck. He's not going to put a gun to his head, which this other guy's actually done that. But I don't think it was loaded, honestly.
There we go.
Don't worry,
Again,
Denny. I
back
wouldn't
to
want to
my luck.
investigate with him either.
Yeah,
It would be.
and this guy also he uses a Ouija board a lot. But the way that he does is different. He doesn't even use the planchette. What he does is he takes the Ouija board and he will prick his finger and he'll put some drops of blood on the Ouija board. And then he'll sprinkle some ash on it.
Oh,
And then
wow.
he will put a spirit box on the middle of the board. That's what he does. And he doesn't even clean off that thing. So that thing has got like 10 years of dry blood on that board.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like I said, I have seen him in action. He is nice as can be in person, but on Facebook, completely different.
Like I said, I don't get. I mean, I guess I just don't understand why people. I know several people who are like some of the nicest people when you meet them face to face. But if you were to watch them on Facebook Live or watch their posts now, they seem like the most narcissistic people in the world. And you're like, why do you want to show people? And I'm just using narcissist as but why would you want to show
Yeah.
people like the worst side of you and hide the best side of you? But I guess
so that when you meet them, you're like, oh wait, you're not as bad as I thought, and I dreaded seeing you this whole time. But then there's ones that are so nice, and you see them, and you're like, and you think your shit's gold or what?
Well, I've told someone within the past year, I've had to tell them, hey, you are a really, really nice person. Why don't you show people that?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that too.
Under promise, over
And what
deliver.
Joe was saying before, pushing the limits. I am okay with pushing limits, but I am not okay with pushing limits to the point where you're going to jeopardize your safety.
And you sure enough aren't going to jeopardize your safety where I'm going to have to be the one that discovers you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I am fine with going beyond what most people do, because I like to do things differently too. I like to do unconventional stuff, push the limits a little bit, but not push the limit to where Nick is going to say, are you going to be okay? Or Adrienne be like, oh, hell no. Because I know Adrienne would do that to me.
Well, I've got a question. So, with him doing all this, does he get more activity, or is it more just he's trying to see if it works? I mean, obviously, I hope he doesn't.
I have never actually seen him do anything except for what we did at Bobby Mackey's. He did put the noose around his neck, but he didn't tighten it up. I made sure of that.
But did it even remotely? I mean, does he ever show evidence going, hey, this does this, or is it just like testing a theory, like like the dog whistle?
I think what he's doing is on the lines of testing theories and trying to get results like what I'm doing, but he's just going to the max.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be around it just because. I mean, again, to each his own, but I'm not gonna be
Brad.
But I have not seen in any videos that he's put out. I have not watched any of that. Personally, I haven't been interested to watch it. So if he gets results, I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I really don't know.
I need a comment on Brad. No, I wouldn't tell you to do it. I would go ahead and do it for you.
I would just tell me do it, idiot. See, it's like these people are taking videos on spots that they could fall and die from, like top corners of high rises, and yet they all need that super high. What's going on, Carl?
Hey, Carl. Again, I don't know. He might go that far. I really don't know.
That's just crazy, though.
But I will say this: I did watch a video today. It wasn't an investigation video, but it was a video where he and this crew that he was with they went to go be interviewed by the local news station. Well, afterwards, they did go to a cemetery and they did this photo op thing, and this here is where I deem it extremely disrespectful. What he did is that he took off his shirt and he got down in front of this one headstone, and he got into this prayer stance. He got down on his knees and did this prayer stance, and somebody poured this red liquid all over his head, and it came down onto his body, and they did like a 360 photo
Jeez.
shot. Yep. Yeah.
It sounds like it was like
to me, that's been very disrespectful in the Senate.
It's disrespectful, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's almost like as if they were making a bad attempt reshot from the movie Carrie, dumping that red stuff on them. I mean, it just sounds like you're just like ripping off something from Carrie.
I don't think I don't think it's that. I don't know what the intent was for this, but this is what. There you go, dramatic effect.
Yeah, that's just gross. I mean, did they ever say what exactly the red liquid was?
It's just something to make it look like it was blood.
That's jeez.
They had like one of them Tupperware things, and they just poured it on his head. And he said after it was all over, he was asking how much of his head was covered because the top of his head was freezing. He's bald. So.
Jeez. Wow. Yeah, it's slightly close. Sorry, Jeremy.
No.
So the closest satanic rituals to me is or can be highly dangerous spiritually, though.
Jill, I think you are right on that one.
Yeah.
I think you're right on that one.
Is it Manfield the one where they don't have the keys to the cells on site, so you better not lock yourself in?
I might be making a drive to Mansfield now. We got that. I can go ahead and hang Brad, and I can lock him in a cell. We're good.
Brad, I was going to say I'm not sure about Mansfield, but Joliet Prison here in Illinois, I don't know if they still do, but when we first started going there, they did have that issue that if you close the cell doors, you were definitely going to be locked in.
So with all of that, you know, that's just not my cup of tea.
No.
It is his.
Well, and it's also, I kind of look at it as a little disrespectful to the spirits. I mean, because you don't, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of one of those touchy things you have to be careful with. Not just because of what you might conjure, not just because of what you might accidentally do to yourself. Just the
Well,
respect thing.
it's not so much what you might accidentally do to yourself, what they might do to you. I mean,
That too.
you piss them off enough, and you may have some issues.
It's going to be in other words, it's going to be a bad day for you.
Right.
As
And
David said, safety first.
Exactly, safety first. And when he was talking to me about what he was wanting to do, that was the first thing I brought up to him, safety. So, and he was open to what I was saying. Like I said, he is the nicest guy in person. We worked well together. We talked well together. I've got nothing against him. It's just that what he does is not my way of doing things.
That'd be the same thing for me too. I would just find that not only to me that wouldn't just be like disrespectful. That to me is just sounding so appalling and just bizarre to begin with. Like that's something I just would not associate myself with.
Yeah. And as far as Mansfield go, unlike most places, Mansfield you have to pay ahead of time. They will not take payment the day of. Whereas like most places do. This one here, you have to have an official head count and money all turned in before you even get there.
The only time that they don't do that, actually, Jeremy, is obviously for the Paracon they have there. Thus, Parasite Con, that's literally the only time out in the entire year, actually, where you are allowed
to. This is for private investigations.
Well, yeah, I mean, that too. I'm just saying, even if you attended the investigation, that would be the only time they ever do that. But other than that, yeah, everything else you got to pay ahead of time.
Yeah. And it's kind of unfortunate that they are like that because let's say Ilene wants to go, but she's not going to know until the day of. Well, she can't go because she has to be paid at least 24 hours ahead of time. So that's pretty sad with that kind of business, but I get it. They want that money on hand before you even come to the building. I get it from a business point, but from an investigator's point of view,
like half or something, you know.
Yeah. But it is what it is.
Well, I'm ready to go investigating. I don't want to hear y'all no more. I haven't been since Salina.
Oh, really?
And that's
wow.
Investigating at that point.
It's been almost like an entire year.
You and I did.
That wasn't exactly investigating. That was looking for it.
Yeah. But, we were ghost hunters that night.
Yeah, I want to find all these. Yes, Jennifer, we're going soon. I want to find some of these really old, like abandoned mine towns, because from what I'm reading, there's nobody there to stop you. They're abandoned. They walked away, gone.
There was that one place that Zach had brought up that you guys were supposed to take me to, but we never did go.
There was lots of places he looked up. He's like, I'm just going to look him up. We're going to go, and I'm not telling you nothing about him. I'm like, all right, let's go. Whatever.
Yeah, the one I really wanted to go to because there were I think it was only 2 buildings left standing there. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Oh, yes, Deerfield.
That was the first African American town of Colorado, right?
Yes. And we went to the museum here in Greeley. We just bored and went one day, and they have all the old things of even Indians and way back then. And then there's just one small little plaque and one picture. Not even of Deerfield. It's a man from Deerfield helping do something, and it mentioned Deerfield on there. No history, no nothing. They just walked away and never even. Now it's the Black History Museum has it in Denver, and I'm hoping they will restore it. Let us, whatever. Let us pay to get. I don't care, but I want to see it.
Did we ever tell the story about finding out that my dad used to be there in Greeley?
Yes, the building he helped build. It was the Bell building.
Yeah. I told my dad that I was going to Greeley because I was going to be meeting up with Adrienne and Zach, and he told me that he used to live in Greeley for 3 months. I was like, really? Yeah, they were building this because he worked for GTE, and they were building this new building, and he was in there helping with the running the phone lines and all of that. So he lived in a hotel for 3 months, and he was just describing what the building looked like and where it was at. And Zach was, I know exactly where that building is, and one of the days that I was there, they took me right by where my dad used to be.
Did you take a picture of it for him?
I did not, but I should have.
I thought you did.
Did I?
If you didn't, I'll take a picture and send it to you.
That'll work.
Jill.
Yeah, so she's asking, has anyone done caves or caverns or even abandoned mine shafts?
Yes. We did one in New Mexico that's called Skinwalker Cave. Has nothing to do with skinwalkers. Nothing at all. But it was where Indians used to hide. And because it's way up top and it's just like a cave in a mountain. It's about as mountain as you're going to get in New Mexico. But it was really neat. A lot of people are just going up there partying now like everywhere else. But there's a hole and you can just drop down. People are urinating and defecating in it now, so you're not going to go down there. But
yeah,
I wouldn't anyway because it's so small and you can't see the bottom. But I'm 100% sure that was used for a lot of things back then. People were smaller back then. We didn't have this fast food and look like this.
No.
They could get in.
She's picturing the movie The Descent, but she'd love to investigate old caves or something ancient.
We do have, Jill, we have, there's a lot of mines here. Of course, you can't go all the way in, but, okay, let's go.
So you can't go all the way in because is it just too small or?
It was like, I think one of them was like turquoise mine. So it was just wood holding up, the entrance. And that's about as far as you can go because it's pretty sketchy after that. The wood's, I don't know how many years old, probably 75 at least.
Okay.
But you can.
And I am still jealous that you and Jennifer got to hang out a couple of weeks ago and I couldn't be there.
Ass down here.
You will.
Can take your ass all over the country, but you couldn't come to the wedding.
I will.
And pick me up on the way because I should be on the way to this.
Yes. That, what Jenny's talking about, I went by myself and he stayed with me on the internet. We were on video. It was an old mining town in New Mexico. It was Clayton, New Mexico, was what it was. And it's tiny, tiny town.
And over there in the West, from the beginning of the Rockies there in Colorado and Wyoming all the way over, they got all kinds of crazy places.
Jill, have you ever heard of the place in Tulsa, Oklahoma? And I used to live an hour from there and had no idea this existed, or I'd have been there and videoed it, but no.
I will.
There is a hole. It's not a hole. It's a place on the ground. They've got a circle there. And you can stand in that circle and scream, and somebody standing right outside of it, they cannot hear you. And it is just so weird, and no reason for it, no nothing. It's been there for years. Don't know. Scientists can't even tell you why.
Yeah. Jennifer, first week of June, I will actually be driving by. First week of June.
Okay, you can just keep on driving. Jennifer will be here, and
Well, I'll be going to Reno next year, so that will actually take me 80 all the way through to get there. But what I want to do is on the way back home, take a little bitty trip down to 70 and go to the temple.
little bitty trip, huh?
Just a little side trip.
Go
off track there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to go back to the temple when there's not 100 people.
It was good.
It was. It wasn't that. It was just, I've been there when there's only 4 of us.
No, that's what I'm saying. Last time I went, there wasn't, there was a lot still, but it was still a lot, a lot less.
Yeah.
And it was, you could hear the activity a lot more.
Right. And with 4 of us, it was amazing because we knew where all 4 were.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Okay, so let's go with Jeremy, and we'll go. That's 3, 4, 5.
You don't have to add Nick. Hello.
Is Nick going on that trip?
By and pick up Nick.
Nick gets lost in the temple.
Oh my God! Don't even.
Only on the basement. Only in the basement.
Leave Nick somewhere in the
temple.
Basement.
Let's get lost.
Oh God, that was terrible for me when I got lost in that basement. That basement is huge.
It is.
Yeah, but it's easy to get lost in that basement because the one place that I really liked there in the basement, you had to go through 2 or 3 hallways just to get there.
Jill, you better watch that word. That'll get you in Facebook jail.
I know, but she's got. Yeah, I know. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, Jill's going to jail.
Going back to Facebook jail. She just got out. Now she's going right back in.
Of course, it would probably be Nick that got you.
I gotta say, they cannot be monitoring these shows with some of the shows I've been on.
No, I got popped because I said something to Shannon because she was singing "Come On Eileen," and I said something to Shannon, and I got put in Facebook jail.
You've been put in Facebook jail over Jeremy, over Nick, now Shannon. You haven't learned your lesson?
All right, Tim.
Probably soon Jill.
Well, according to Brad, she's got no brain, so she's not going to learn.
Like I said, Tommy with TPPS got me the Facebook inmate repeat offender shirt. He meant to give it to me on our way to Kansas.
But a repeat offender.
Okay, y'all. I have to get off here and do some dishes, and we have a yard sale tomorrow. Yay.
Dishes are overrated, Adrienne.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah. So, Holly, if you're still on here, I added you. Message me. Whenever you're down, we'll go.
Actually, come to think of it, I haven't seen anybody posting under the Facebook
user. Yeah, it's been quite a while now.
Yeah, in fact, when I think it was Nicole. Oh no, Nicole was talking, but that was a half hour ago. I gave her a link to the YouTube page because she was asking for it, but she never switched over. At least I don't think she
She
did.
might
I
be
think
over
she
there.
said she tried to.
Yeah, but you can be able to comment on there too.
I think she said she was having problems or something in the
Yeah,
comments.
she said she was having internet connection. I mean, problems.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I will see you next week.
Next
I'm
week.
right there with you. I just have to go get some work done. So
You
Well,
look tired already.
like I said, this back and forth about one more. I mean, just we're training someone next week to take my old position, so that should calm. After next week should calm that down, but I'm still learning this new property and training 2 new people.
You got a while.
But they're catching on quick. I'm proud of my 2 new people. So
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the fun and joy of getting a new job and then trying to get rid of the old one.
hey, most people can walk away from one and be good. I'm just like, hold on, I'm still stuck at the other one. But it was
I'll
worth
keep mine.
it. It was worth it to make the change.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Good night.
All right.
Good
Good
Adrienne.
night.
Good night.
I'm just going to say this quickly, really, just before I forget, because you guys brought up, well, Adrienne actually did, but you guys brought up how I got lost in the temple's basement. Honestly, to me, I know you were there, of course.
Well, I was there until I left you. That's okay.
No, it was quite scary for me because it wasn't even the paranormal stuff I was worried about, because I actually felt like that there was actually somebody down there with me, and it wasn't paranormal to me. I really felt like
you.
Yeah, and I actually was getting kind of worried because I was actually starting to get kind of scared because I thought something was down there, and I was pretty much stuck with whatever the hell was stuck with me down there. So, yeah, that was not a good feeling for me. So next time I go to that temple, if you guys try to leave me, I'll make sure I'll just be a few feet behind you, so that way you guys may think you may have lost me. I'm like, nope, right here.
Nope, next time they're locking you in the basement.
Locking? Wait, did you just say locking me?
I said locking you in the basement.
There is no doorway in the basement except for the sub-basement.
I will go build a door to lock you in the basement. Just saying.
Well, you're going to have to talk to the temple folks first.
They'll be okay with it. I'll talk to her.
Those poor people.
All right, I'm with Adrienne. I just have to go to get some work done because I was up till midnight doing arts and crafts for my sister's youngest boy's wedding. I have made 300 etched champagne glasses, 300 koozies, and some other stuff I don't remember. So no one's allowed to get married and call me to help out with arts and crafts for the wedding.
Is any of it coffee related?
Well, I didn't see that one. Hold on. Where'd you see that one?
Where do I see that one? Wait, what?
Oh, I thought you said there was a comment about coffee.
No, I just brought it up myself.
Oh, wait, you commented yourself?
And I was just submitting a dispute for a copyright thing.
Yeah. That might be
your show from last week. It just came up on the thing tonight. It took them a week. Oh, what do we have here?
Something else? Oh, I saw it. Oh, no. What is it?
Jill got it.
Hang on, Jill.
Jill got it.
Hang on,
oh, did she get put in jail?
She's in Facebook jail.
Oh my gosh. I actually had my phone placed to the side. And I just dropped it.
Yeah.
I had my phone placed to the side. I decided to pick it up because it's been a while. And then the last message I see on the phone is Jill saying, damn it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, once you said it, I'm like, oh, she sent it to not only me. Yep, she's in Facebook jail.
Mm-hmm. She just messaged me. I'm in big trouble now, it seems. Yep.
But see, now the
You have
normally
been a bad girl.
A very
normally
bad girl.
it's taken away, so I thought maybe she was still okay. But I'm telling you, it's gotten. I mean, and you really, when people say that, when we're talking around as friends, you're really not meaning it in a bad way. It's just that how the words are grouped together, it kicks you. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, these Facebook people need to come to the South and learn how we talk. It ain't. Because I got popped for that going to Ballinger. That saying the same thing. That I was going to do that and take someone on an investigation to get them out of the house. I'm like, that's being nice.
Yeah,
Yes,
she is. She's back in Facebook jail again, Brad.
and we witnessed it was all Nick's fault.
So this is what I enjoy because everybody knows I don't give a shit. Facebook, you are stupid. Facebook employees, you are idiots. You're not worth them.
And we're not ashamed of saying that.
Just don't put it in writing, because then.
I even wrote it out. Facebook is stupid and his people are idiots.
And I don't
wrote it out.
And I seriously don't get it. It's okay to say it. It's okay to say it on camera, but it's not okay to say it in the comments.
Okay, everyone knows how David and I talk to each other, right?
Oh, yeah.
So David called me a name. I'm not going to repeat on the show. And I turned around, and he said it in writing. I turned around and said, I'm going to kick your... I got put in Facebook jail. So now, granted, I knew he was joking around. But the way they say it is because it promotes, because that would be bullying, all that. I said, but wait a second. He can call me a name that starts with a W for a female.
Oh, jeez.
But yet, if I say I'm going to kick his whatever, I'm the one that gets put in Facebook jail.
That's right, Brad. So be careful what you say, especially those cockroaches.
No.
Here's the thing. A few weeks ago, Brad did get put in jail.
Yeah, I remember that.
But it was only a 24-hour thing.
If you go to jail, Jill, because Jill can still be watching right now, you can go to YouTube and still watch and comment, because that's what I use the YouTube for, to watch and comment while in jail, because trust me, I'm in there all the time. But you can still watch everything. You just can't comment. So she can still be watching everything right now.
Yeah, Jill is sending me all the snapshots of her profile. It says account restricted, and then it says your account restriction. Oh, I didn't know you had a restriction history.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Hold
on. She's actually telling me now to tell you, Eileen, that she's jumping onto YouTube so she can comment.
See, I know how this stuff works. Let me see if I can find my account history. No, I don't want that account. I want this account.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Facebook can put me in jail. I don't give a shit. I don't post that much anyway. So it's not going to affect me at all.
She has a history, too. Oh, Brad says he was still able to comment while he was in Facebook jail.
Well, depends on how many times you've been in jail. There are certain limitations. There was one time I was able to comment after, I think, 15 days. I could comment, but I couldn't do something else for 30 and couldn't do something else it was like all over the place.
Yeah.
So it depends on. Nope. I tried to warn her. Thank you very much. I was like, oh no, you can't say that.
Yeah, I just gave Jill the link to the YouTube page.
I like Brad's comment. It's all Eileen's fault.
I said it wasn't. I did try to warn her. But I guess I can't find my.
You did, but the damage was already done.
I know. I was like, no. It was like watching someone fall off a cliff. No. Sorry.
And yes, I am combing my beard on a live show.
I'm trying to see.
I didn't even notice at first.
I always have my comb with me because Eileen can tell you I comb my hair before the show starts. I'm wiping. Jill.
There she is. Okay, try and stop me now.
Be careful now, because YouTube's getting there too.
Still able to
Yeah,
comment 12 hours after being
problem
jailed.
is that the people on Facebook can no longer see Jill's comments. And
No, but you just make sure you just pull her up to make her feel better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
That's what I
find
was
mine,
doing.
Jill.
Make sure you're following us, Jill, if you haven't already.
And subscribe.
While you're there.
Yeah, while you're there, just,
Yeah,
just
I'm
subscribe.
trying to remember where to go to find my.
But yeah, Facebook Jill, it's not going to affect me any because one, I don't live on Facebook. I've got too much to do.
It's actually sometimes it's kind of a break sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the problem it affects you with groups though. So like you can't even comment on your groups.
That's just it. I don't comment. I don't post that much, so it's not going to affect me. Throw me in jail for a few days. Okay, woohoo, big deal.
You should all send me some of your hair for those zombie heads. Send some of your hair for the zombie heads? Come on.
Actually, I might be able to do that after I cut all my hair off. I might be able to do that. I might save a few strands. That would be creepy though. That would be creepy though if we actually use my hair.
Good night,
I love y'all, but I'm gonna go get some work done so I can actually start fresh in the morning.
All right. Good night,
Go
Eileen.
to bed at a decent time.
Sorry about going to jail, Jill.
I've been in their jail for like 3 days. It's killing me. So, what were you saying about using your hair again, involving the zombie heads?
It would be kind of creepy if we put some of my actual hair on a zombie head.
Hey, you know what? And Brad, this is just a word of advice because they're just zombie heads. But best way to attach, the hair to the zombie heads is just simply using Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue. That's the only time that you could use that Gorilla Glue on somebody's hair.
Nick, too bad you're not getting paid for this advertisement, for this endorsement.
For what?
For this endorsement. Because you are endorsing their product. So you need to start getting paid for this shit.
And throw 10% back to this network.
There you go.
We can be sponsored by
that. Throwing 10% back into the network. I didn't say anything to you about that.
No, it was something I heard from the 3Js. It was from a show that they were doing. So I've been kind of modeling off after what they said about it. But one day, I've always said, one of these days, we're probably going to get sponsored by Gorilla Glue.
Yeah. Jill, I would probably go in as a stubble-headed Mr. Clean at Perry Unity.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, I was just talking with Rick. I don't know if Ricky's planning on going, but he's actually said he's interested. No, I was talking with Ricky a few days ago. He did that picture of that horrified look on his face. And he basically one point said that he could be like next Mr. Clean. Well, let's just put it this way. If he ends up going, which I don't know if he is, we're going to have 2 Mr. Cleans then. You and Ricky.
He needs to shave his head first before he can do that.
It's almost shaved.
No, that's not shaved.
It's not shaved.
No.
And Jill, to answer your question, to answer the question on my part, I'll be dressing up as my character as the Scary Stories host. Provided that my cloak is all sewed up by then.
Oh, nice, Brad.
Oh,
that's nice.
Yeah. that's awesome. Looking forward to seeing those.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Mansfield. I've already got my equipment bag already packed for that. The only thing I don't have in there are my SD cards because I was using that today because I was making a singing video for TikTok this earlier today, and also I don't have my walkies and my thermal packed in because I'm going to be charging them before we go.
Okay.
But everything else is packed.
Yeah, I got everything else. The only thing that I'm looking for, and I'm actually still searching for it right now. That video camera that I had, that I used for when we were at Crown Point last year, I can't find the charging cord. So, yeah, I'm starting to even think. I hope it didn't get mixed up with your equipment during the time that we've been going over there, but I haven't been able to find my cord somehow, which I think was
What kind of a
impossible.
cord do you have?
I don't know what kind of cord it is, but the camera I was using was a Sony cam. You might have that. Something tells me you probably haven't. Okay, so while we're waiting for Jeremy to come back, yes, that's what I'll be. Jill, I'm excited for it. Dressing up as a cockroach. I already knew that from the start, Brad. Or I need to get a suit and be MIB and print out the neuralizer and gun.
This doesn't say Sony, it says Philips.
Philips?
But is it this?
That might be it. I'm not. See, I wish I had the camera with me right now to kind of identify it, but I can't. I'm up in my room / office that's downstairs in the basement. So
Because I found this when I was unpacking after I got home from Nevada.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look back and see if that makes a match in some way.
Because I don't think we were ever together around the time that I went to Nevada, were we?
I don't think so. No, because we hadn't seen. I hadn't seen it actually. I think in person since when we went to Crown Point earlier this year. No, wait, no.
That would have been in March.
That would have been it would have been in March. And actually, I was going to say no. Last time we met up was when we went to New York.
So then this should not be yours then.
Okay. Send me a picture of the camera charging port as well, Nick. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, because this is what I have. And it showed up in my bag. Because right after I got home from Nevada, we had a residential.
Okay.
And I ended up unpacking the bag after that because I didn't even have time to unpack the equipment bag after I got home from Nevada.
Okay.
So I was asking Clarissa if this was hers, and she said no. I asked Adrienne if this was hers. She said no. And Zach. So I don't know where I picked that up from.
Yeah, I'm not fully sure myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so that should not be yours.
It most likely isn't.
Yeah. I know the one thing I picked up was yours.
Yeah, there was the digital recorder watch, but I was able to pick that up though. It's usually for the male end of a charging block for like a laptop, as Brad said.
Hi, Vivian.
Hey, Vivian, good to see you.
Yeah. It's pretty late where you're at.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be, like 3 a.m.?
Yeah, it should be 3 a.m. unless she's getting up early for work.
Right. Brad, why don't you just show it to him again? Jeez, he seems to be quite an expert on these cords.
Yeah, this is the plug that I have, and it's a 6-foot cord. The only other possible thing that it may have come from would be the residential.
Yep, it's 3:20 a.m. Oh, she just cannot sleep. That's why.
Okay.
Okay, so Brad's saying that's usually the cord that attaches to a charging block. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if that answers the question, but that's the only.
I don't know. Oh, and Brad, you said 3x, right? Prior conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant by that at first.
Yeah. Poor Vivian cannot sleep. Got a lot on your mind, Vivian?
I guess this is Brad's response to what you were asking. Jill, you're you're 2 hours behind me, so it's a lot earlier over where you are.
Yeah, but she's also got a kid too.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 kids?
I thought you only had one.
I thought so too, but for some reason, something is telling me to.
I mean, 3 a.m. restless time, as Jill has said.
Yeah, by then I'm already asleep.
Yeah. I was actually up throughout a good portion of the night last night, including past 3 a.m. because I was, well, first of all, I didn't have work today, so I was able to stay up a good majority of the night and work out more stories, which 3 more of my stories have been released.
Oh,
what's
up? I see what Brad means now.
Okay, yeah, it said Senate. She just has her son, but her bro's kids are here a lot. He has 4, her brothers. Okay. And Vivian said, "No, really, just can't sleep. Insomnia."
I know what you mean, Vivian. Like for me, a lot of times is that my mind just will not shut up.
Right.
It's just it's not thinking any specific thoughts. It's just like my mind is just racing.
No. That's not going to happen. That's 7.5 hours left on the show.
At most, Brad, we may go on an extra half hour at most.
And we don't mean an extra half hour to add to the 7.5 hours. We're talking about just a half hour alone.
A half hour from now.
Sometimes I don't sleep for like 2 days straight. It's crazy.
Damn, Joe, how do you function?
I don't know. I can't even do that. And I'm younger. I can't even do that.
And Vivian, as far as the insomnia kicking in is, I know it's different for everybody, but sometimes for me, sometimes it gets to like, I'll be thinking of something and something is really bothering me and I can't get it off my mind. But when I'm trying to go to sleep, I may not necessarily actually be thinking about that particular thing, but my mind is just racing.
We don't know who this is, so whoever this is, give StreamYard permission so we can see you.
Yeah.
It's the first Facebook user.
What's your name?
Get Ernie, Todd, and Greg on. It'll be a 240-hour show.
I can see it. Now, Nick, now you and I got to figure out which one of us is the crazy one that this person is referring to.
I'm actually going on to the page right now to see if I could, at least onto the Facebook page to see who it is. Yeah. So, because I'm wondering too, who the hell is that?
I am going to guess that it's on the Universal page.
That's exactly what I was going to look first. Yes, we need some kind of shut up button for our brains, don't we? Yes, we do.
There is a shut off button, Jill. It's called a Billy Club.
Actually, okay, I'm on the Things Network page. Oh, it's
Scott.
Scott. That's who it is. Okay.
Okay, he has to be on the Universal page because normally he shows up under the network name on the network page itself.
This thing hates me by chance. Now, Vivian, speaking of which, if you're still watching, I want to bring this up while she's on. But obviously, like I just said, like a minute or so ago, last night I was still working. Oh, yep, she's still on. Okay, perfect. So, as you know, like I said, I was working the majority of the night last night, putting more.
He's on the
Universal page. I was working the majority of the night, working on more of the stories from Nightmare Soup to get released. I just uploaded 3 more earlier today. I'm going to try to get 5 more up later tonight before I call it
night. I listened.
You listen to all of them?
As far as I know, I am completely up to date on yours.
Well, from what I can tell for Vivian is that I already worked on your story. It's not completed yet, but I just only cut down to add all the unwanted spaces. So now that, along with 2 other stories, are just waiting in the process of getting the sound effects and music on. But before I get to that, I'm going to work on cutting down 2 more stories of unnecessary sound. Additionally, the last story that I have for tonight that I'll be working on is actually going to be Clarissa's.
Okay. The one story that you did, I really liked because it was right at the beginning. The first line was something about the sky thundering or the clouds thundered. And
that was the last story I uploaded. That was The Farm, which was narrated by Otis Gyrie.
Okay, yeah, I liked how you did that because, boom, right there at the beginning of the story. Okay, now I got to listen what's going to happen next.
Yeah, because
I liked how you did that.
Yeah, that was when I heard that anytime that there's something involving a storm or something like that, I often usually add that into stories like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and literally, Otis Gyrie, he is, the best.
I'm going to bring this up so that Vivian can see this.
Okay. The 3-day no sleep, I do hallucinate too. By then, so are those those are definitely no bueno.
Vivian, one thing that I do to help myself get tired is when I get to bed, I'll read for about a half hour. Usually it helps my brain get tired. I don't know if that would work. Hi, Emily.
What's up, Emily? Good to see you.
I mean, I don't know if that would work for you or not. But for me, I'll read for a half hour, maybe longer, depends. That'll work.
Emily's wide awake. On the other hand,
of course she's wide awake. It's only 10:30.
Yeah, I know it is. Nightmare Soup was brilliant. Thank you, Vivian, for taking the time of doing this. And I'll tell you right now, the work I put into these stories, it's not easy. It's not. I mean, cutting down parts of the story is not that difficult because they're all short. It's finding the sound effects and music that really is. I mean, I can tell you right now, among the 3 stories that I uploaded earlier today on YouTube, in fact, actually, I think it might have been Otis Gyri's story. I mean, there was literally like 2 hours. I had to literally spend like 2 hours doing nothing but count, like literally continuously searching for the right kind of music to add to the audio, because again, I'm trying to stay away from the longer pieces. I'm only trying to find those that are like a minute, 2 minutes long, and those are probably tougher than what I've done with the previous Scary Stories tribute books, which the stories in those books are a lot longer, so they're much more manageable. These stories involving the music, it's a lot tougher.
The one guy who read, it was one of the last stories. I forget which one it was. It's like his voice was so loud.
Which wasn't was it uploaded today?
One of those that you did today. His voice was really, really loud. I had to turn
Let's check right now. Hang on. I think I might know who you're talking about.
It might have been that last one. I don't know.
Well, if it was Otis's, I did have to turn up just a little bit, because if I kept it at the normal volume, the music would have then you wouldn't be able to hear him then. So the stories I uploaded,
then lower the music then.
Yeah, because I haven't uploaded anymore, I might as well just, damn it, there's already a like to it. I just may have to re-upload it, because I can get that fixed very quickly. Because the only stories I uploaded for today was Zoo by Kat Hobson, Mr. Wilson by Lois Haddo, and The Farm by Otis Gyri.
Okay.
Now, I will say this. I mean, Otis Gyri, I don't know if he really does investigations, but he really is basically a professional voice actor, because I first met him when he was, I think he's still part of it, Chilling Tales for Dark Nights, and then he started creating his own series, which very much like what I do. He does scary stories told in the dark, and the stories that he makes, I mean, it's basically a podcast of its own, but it's just him reading stories, and these stories are even longer than mine. I mean, he'll literally spend like an hour doing nothing but reading, but like me, he always adds sound effects and music to make him entertaining. So even if it's an hour story, he does a great job on it. In fact, the funny thing is, he actually has always described himself like this with his voice. He's often been described as the white version of Morgan Freeman. He has kind of a Morgan Freeman-like voice.
Yes, most of the readers that you've had, they have been really, really good.
See, somebody actually, it probably won't be long before someone will ask me, which exact story or recording is my favorite. As of right now, because I'm still working on them, and I might even still say even after when I'm done, I don't know if I really actually have a favorite involved. I mean, the way how everybody's been doing these stories, and from what I've put my work into them, I thought they were all great. I mean, so that's why I really don't have one particular story, even my own that I did. I just think they were all great, and there's more to come. I got 12 more stories left to upload.
I know I really enjoyed Jennifer's, because she has that calmness to her voice.
Yeah,
I really like that. Tom did such a wonderful job on his. Tom McNichols.
Oh my God, Tom McNichols. He did a great job. In fact, he told me, because he played it to his parents, that when they heard it, they didn't even think that was him at first.
Yeah, he did an excellent job on his. Adrienne did good on hers.
There was also Simon and Twistle, who did the story Mr. Smiley. That was an incredible way how he told that story.
I'm trying to remember that one.
His was the story before mine. It was the one with the girl who kept seeing somebody outside the cafe and was coming closer, had a bouquet of yellow tulips.
Okay.
And
there were a couple that when they were reading the story, all they did was just read the story. They didn't really go into a vocal range and show emotion, at least in my opinion.
Whoa, Emily.
Yep.
You brought her on? Hey.
I'm bored.
Good to see you, Emily.
Good to see
Hi,
you.
Emily.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Nick. Good to see you guys.
How you doing?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm doing good. I was on a show a little bit ago, but it's not paranormal or anything. It's political, so I'm not going to talk about it. But I'm still kind of in the mood to talk to somebody. I'm all alone in Kentucky. And I saw you guys online, so I messaged Jeremy. I was like, hey, if y'all want somebody to come on. Good to see you guys.
Awesome.
What y'all talking about?
Right now, we're talking about Nick's audio book.
What is that? When is that out?
It's already out.
Oh, really?
Half of it is, at least.
More than half of it. There's 12 more stories that I got to release. It's a book called Nightmare Soup. You're familiar with the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark trilogy, right?
Yeah.
This is basically a tribute book that is kind of paying homage to the original trilogy. And there's actually been a number of books that have been released over the years, which I've literally got them. I think I might have all of them. But the first couple audio books I've done was just me narrating. But this book in particular is the first time I'm bringing different, basically paranormal hosts to record a story. So it's been
a real story, like their story, or they're reading a story, or
they're reading a story.
They're reading a story. Okay. All right. I can read a story. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, I'll be honest.
I don't have one of them voices. I think you have to be like, what is that? The AMSR, is that what they call it? An AMSR voice to read a story. Is that what they call it? AMSR?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
You have no idea.
It's where they have those soothing voices, and then they have those dramatic voices at the same time when it gets exciting.
Oh, you're talking more like a baritone?
I guess. I don't know. ASMR, that makes you like, they do the weird things around the microphones. Y'all don't know what ASMR is?
I've never heard of that.
Hold on. I'm going to have to pull this up.
While you're looking that up, Jill just told me that her account is restricted for 24 hours, and her group activity is restricted for 2 days.
Oh, jeez.
He's a rebel. I like those people. Okay.
Should have some pictures posted of the costume stuff this weekend after I get the new printers up and working.
There we go. So I ended up doing one of the stories for Nick.
His is the very first one, actually.
It was. And I had to take it because it was about clowns. And everybody knows how I am with clowns, especially if they're evil. I just love them to death.
This is what you do, Nick. Hold on, I'm going to share this if I can. We won't play very long because I don't want there to be any kind of daggone. I don't know if this lady has anything. This is what you got to do with your. Okay, this is ASMR. My favorite bedtime story is Rumpelstiltskin. All right. Listen, you all don't make fun of me. I've listened to this lady read Rumpelstiltskin. I can't even tell you how many times to help me go to sleep. But here we go, Nick. This is what you got to do. You got to start tapping and like moving the pages and everything. You could do a whole ASMR paranormal. Listen to her talk. Or can you hear that?
We can't hear anything right now.
Um,
We could see it, but we just can't hear it.
Can you hear her now?
Yeah, I think we just did. There we go.
Gary Cooley.
Listen to her start reading, and I'll stop it. Oh my gosh, Nick, this could be a whole new level of paranormal
Long
ASMR.
ago, there lived a miller who had a beautiful daughter. One day, the king of the land happened to be passing by the mill. To make himself seem more important to the king.
So you got that, but in the beginning, like, see how she taps?
Contest.
She taps and does all that.
uh-huh.
Nick, are you laughing at me?
No.
it.
I'm not laughing. I'm actually kind of impressed with the tapping that she does. Actually,
Well, I don't want to play too much because I don't want it to be like a copyright thing. But there we go, Nick. Take the paranormal stories.
We always get the copyright thing. In fact, one of Nick's shows from last week just got dinged today. And I did a dispute and told them that if you don't stop this, I'm going to report your page. That's what I did. If you don't stop this, I'm going to report your page. You got dinged on that 30-second countdown that you had.
That's me.
Yeah.
I did too. Well, I've gotten it left, hit, and right by L. Turner. And L. Turner, I put that music stuff together myself. So I messaged him and I said, you know what? Do I need to get an attorney for this? Because you have no part in this whatsoever.
Yeah.
And Jeremy, wasn't that Don's show, though? Because my show, I'm taking a break from.
No, it was yours.
I didn't do Nick Files last week.
Well, maybe it was the 2 weeks before, but it was one.
I've been getting dinged over a year ago on shows that over a year ago.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, the thing about what you showed us, I found her voice very seductive.
That's not going to calm.
That was what I got out of it. I found her voice to be very seductive the way that she did that.
Well, I felt it very calming. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to her read Rumpelstiltskin and fell asleep.
See, my stories.
Vivian, if you're still watching this, take that advice.
See, my stories are completely the opposite. It's they're basically the way I put them in. They're designed to be relatively unsettling.
Well, how awesome would that be to have a story unsettling, but you have this calm voice to try to put you to sleep? That's like a psychopath's desire to have to help go to sleep or something. But take it to a new level, Nick. Us ASMR people need that. A lot of us like horror and true crime. Oh my gosh, have a true crime ASMR storytelling?
Okay, Jill, I don't know if I want to go into tingling sensation, but that would just lead to another.
Yeah. Jeremy, I gotta put this out for you too. Like all these stories that we've been talking about, there's actually one story. So obviously you heard Adam's story, no swimming, right? You heard that one?
Yes.
Me?
That was
me.
I didn't.
Yeah, this was that story when I was working on it. It seemed like Adam was already ahead of me on this. He actually was the one who added the music himself. That was not me that put that in. The only thing that I actually played a role in editing was just the sound effects, but Adam actually was the one who put the music in himself. So he does a good job with adding the music. Oh, it's Josh. I don't know which Josh it is though. Wish me luck, Jeremy.
Josh Smith.
Only have 4 days to go without breaking my foot. Every major place we have investigated, I've broken my foot before he went. I didn't know that, Brad. Jeez.
The same foot? Is it the same foot?
That's what I wonder.
It reminds me of Mary Poppins. That joke on Mary Poppins. I know a guy with a wooden leg. named Smith or something. What's the name of his other leg? I'm sorry.
I think Brad is saying yes. It's the same foot.
Oh, Jill. Thank you, Jill. I think Emily has a good idea. For paranormal version of ASMR. I think so too. It doesn't exist. Might as well put it in there.
Joshua Dixon.
Nick.
Okay.
Okay. Now, why are you?
Nick, you need to get one of them ASMR voices. You better start practicing. You can call me at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. I'll help you.
Josh, I guess it depends on what page you're on.
I love Mary Poppins too. Mary Poppins is my favorite, one of my favorite musicals. And Wicked. I like Wicked too.
I always seem to hurt my foot before we go to a big place, and it hurts for weeks after we go to smaller places.
Okay, Emily, just for you, I'm going to share to you the one that I did.
Oh, you're going to show one of
ASMR?
the stories? Yeah, these are the stories I've been uploading.
Oh wow, you got a lot. I need to
There's a
follow
lot of
you.
them. In Nightmare Soup itself, because obviously you saw there's other books, but in Nightmare Soup alone, there are 35 stories in this book.
Yeah.
So you get the book and everybody reads it?
Actually,
Different
no, I don't
tales?
give a. Actually, no, it's not the book itself that I give. I give a PDF file that
Okay.
the website sold, and I actually got and I actually contacted the company, and they gave us permission to do these stories. So that's why we're not getting sued or having any copyright issues, because they gave the okay to us.
That's so good, Nick. I
Yeah.
like this idea. Ask him if you can do. Honestly, I promise. I think you should do ASMR too with these. I would listen to it if it was ASMR at nighttime when I'm trying to go to sleep. But so Nightmare Soup. I hate clowns. This is you.
That's
Jeremy?
me. Yeah.
This is Jeremy. He's the very first
Now,
story.
come over to the network page. You should show up under your own name. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and play this for you.
I hate clowns.
Whoa! Jeez, hang on. There was like an echo.
There is an echo.
I don't want to go to Daniel's house.
It's an echo.
There's an echo going on right now.
Is it me? It's not me.
I don't think it was, because I heard the echo coming from my side too.
No, it has to be me then. Hold on.
that just sounded so unearthly sounding.
Sounds like an alien.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can hear it, but yeah,
come this way.
I was gonna say, yeah, we could hear it, but yeah, Jeremy, you sounded like an alien.
It was alien.
Well, how do you know you're not one?
And to comment to Brad's comment, maybe stay away from stairs and things.
Things. I like how she says things.
Brad, you better be prepared then when we go to Mansfield, because there are some stairs.
I want to go with Brad. I want to watch him, make sure he's okay.
Okay, let me try doing it this way without actually sharing it.
Okay. Brad's gonna fall. Like, I would have my cameras on.
I was gonna say, do you want me to show it, Jeremy? Because if it's not working on your side,
I don't want to go to Daniel's house, Mom. Max stood in the entryway. His mom had her keys in hand, ready to leave. What? All of a sudden, you don't want to go to your best friend's birthday party? He hesitated before answering.
Good, Jeremy. That's good.
There. I hate clowns. Oh, honey, you'll be fine. Just go in the other room or something. Plus, you'd probably hurt Daniel's feelings if he didn't show up. Max just stood there, unsure of what to do. It's either Daniel's party, or you can help me run errands. And they're not fun errands. I have to go to the post office, and then I have to go get a dress for your aunt's wedding. You're going to be bored out of your mind. He sighed. Okay, fine. Take me to Daniel's.
Jeremy, you sound a little bit like a New Yorker.
His friends and gave Daniel his birthday gift. But he could really only think about one thing. Where was the clown? Then out of the corner of his eye, he saw a colorful bag and slowly walked up to it. This must be the clown's stuff, he thought to himself. He opened the bag to reveal a myriad of clown accessories, makeup, and party favors. But what really caught his attention was the big red clown nose sitting right in the middle of the bag. He reasoned that if he took the clown's nose, maybe the clown wouldn't come out to perform. So he grabbed it from the bag and stuffed it in his pocket. Sure enough, Max was correct.
Don't ever take anything. Don't take anything from clown. Like, that's 101. Clown
It
101.
gets worse.
In his bed, he awoke to the sound of laughter outside the window. Max got up and slowly looked out to the street. There was a clown standing there on the sidewalk. A wretched, uneven smile cut across his face.
Reminds me of my
With
ex-husband.
his left hand, he held the string of a single red balloon, which floated ominously by his side. There was something else in his right hand, but Max couldn't tell what it was. That's when he
This is
noticed
so
blood
good.
over his lips and dripping down his chin. He reached up to touch his face. His stomach dropped. He rushed to the bathroom and turned on the light. Then he screamed. Max's nose was completely gone, and all that remained.
That was a really good female scream. Like, this guy's like scared so bad he sounds like a woman. I've heard that before. No, it's not a bad thing.
It's pretty cool though, right?
Makes me nervous.
That's exactly what I was expecting. The idea was to make them
Did you stop
unsettling.
it, Jeremy?
That was it,
That's
actually.
That was it?
They're
That was
short
it.
stories.
I want more.
You know what? I got you covered for it because Jeremy, I actually thought because you were sharing
That
your
was
story.
so good. I want
thought it-
more. That's
I was
great.
gonna say I thought I'd share mine that I did. So
That was it. That was the end.
they're
We
really
didn't
short.
hear the end.
Well, that
Hold
was
on.
that was
Hold
the
on,
end.
Nick, before you
And for
don't play
Jeremy,
yours yet.
I needed to hear more about this.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back a few more seconds.
Then he screamed. Max's nose was completely gone, and all that remained was a large, bloody hole.
I want to know more.
That's the end of the story.
That was good.
They're supposed to kind of leave cliffhangers, if you will.
Love
So-
a good cliffhanger.
So for
Now,
my
now, what'd you say that sounded like?
What do you mean?
You
The
said that
scream.
sounded
Oh,
like
you sound like a New Yorker when you were reading some of that. It sounded like you
Well,
were from
I am New
Brooklyn.
York.
Huh?
I am
York.
New York.
But you sound like you were up in the Bronx or something.
Oh, maybe.
You're like Brooklyn.
Well,
Long
keep
Island.
in mind when I did this story, I think I was 2 weeks after I just had surgery to open up my mouth.
Really? So you did that story that soon? I wouldn't
Yeah.
think. I didn't think that you had anything wrong with you when it comes to speech or anything. You just sound like you were a northerner.
Well,
Sounded pretty good. I think you could do ASMR, Jeremy.
I'd have to look
I
into
can't.
that.
I can't. Joshua said I would go that far. I'm from the Bronx. I have family from the Bronx, so he was making me think of my family.
Yeah, so up to the point before I had my surgery to open up my mouth, I had more of a Scottish accent.
Are you Scottish?
No. I'm Italian.
Italian.
Yeah,
Nick
same.
Malay. Malay is a last name that ends with a vowel. Are you Italian?
Yes, I am. So entirely, I'm actually part Italian, part Irish. My Irish side's from my mom's side of the family, and my dad's side is Italian. Although, ironically enough, I actually do have a little Scottish background, as well as my mom actually recently revealed this to me not too long ago. We also have, I also have a little bit of Canadian and French descent as well. So I'm kind of a combination.
I'm German. Nobody likes Germans either, so okay.
Yeah, nobody does like German because it takes 24 words, 24 letters just to say hi.
My last name's Menshouse. It's Menshausen.
Yeah.
Well, ironically,
Any more than that, then we're going to start speaking like the Ents from Lord of the Rings, where it takes you 24 days just to say.
I love that. It's what
well,
I mean,
the
that
funny
makes a lot
thing.
of sense.
The funny thing is about my last name, it used to actually be spelled like this, but it would still be pronounced as Miles. I just changed it, but it had the apostrophe or the little thing on the end of it. But I still really don't know how the A managed to get into it. So, but that's
like
how
Giovanni.
It used to be pronounced.
I always told my mom when I was younger I was going to marry a man that his last name was going to end in a vowel. That didn't happen, but I had high hopes.
Josh was German, Austrian, Irish, and American Indian.
I'm like 90% German, so that's my ancestry.
Have Italian, Irish, Native American, and English.
That's where you get your hair.
No, Vivian, no, I'm not.
Mixed up
cockroach.
No, well, hold on. Cockroach is better than a cricket, so I would. That's a good thing.
No, not for me. I hate cockroaches.
Y'all, my basement flooded the other day. I'm in Kentucky, so we've had all these floods.
Oh yeah, you guys had that massive storms.
Well, I've lived in my home I bought my house in 2007, so 15 years, I guess, and it's never flooded anything. I kind of live on a little hill, and we had all that massive flooding, and then we had more storms. I didn't get any flooding, but when we had the more storms on top of the flooding, that's when I got the flooding. Y'all think I'm going to the basement? I'm terrified of crickets. Heck no. Like, I opened my basement door, I looked down, I took a picture, I could see the water, but I can't imagine the crickets that were in the water. Oh! No, I called my dad. My dad's like, you need to go down there and make sure your drain is not clogged. I said, I'm not wading in any kind of water that I think crickets are in. I can deal with cockroaches. I can deal with mice. I can deal with spiders. Crickets. No. So my dad came over the next day and helped and things, but he was down there, not me.
Yeah, well, I still don't know how people can deal with roaches because those things can infest your house. My mom's been through that situation when she was younger. She's had like 2 apartments that had cockroach infestations. They had to move out because they were impossible to get rid of.
But the cockroaches are like linear or something. Like they just boom, 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 boom. Crickets will go like you sit there and you face yourself with a cricket. You have no clue where that cricket's going. Like it could go to the ceiling, it could go to the wall, it could jump on you. It's like 3 insects in one. They're mutants. They're like praying mantis, grass. They are hybrids. They are.
Josh's mom gets a ton of crickets in her New York home.
You have these big, huge cave crickets. Like I investigate, like Jeremy, Nick. If we ever investigate together, I hope we do eventually. If we ever investigate together, if there's any kind of basement or there's any area that I feel like there might be crickets, you watch. I will ask you all to go and now if you lie to me, by golly, I will get you back. But I'll ask you to go in there first to see if there's any crickets. I can't do crickets. No. I don't care if they're harmless. Look at them. Look at them. And then I blame it on my grandmother because I remember going from her carport, like we'd open the door and go up the steps to her house. Crickets would jump on you when you walked into her basement. It's my grandmother's fault.
Vivian, I didn't know you had a lizard, but apparently her lizard loves crickets. Brad, you say you don't have fears now. Well, that might change when we cross paths.
That's why he's got ankle issues.
Now, Vivian, is that for meals?
I would think it would be. It's impossible to live in Florida without cockroaches. Well, that's kind of true.
Are they cockroaches or are they water bugs?
I don't think roaches really know how to swim, so It would have to be water bugs. Our Beardy used to love crickets to eat. Okay, so I didn't know if Brad had one too. I thought lizards were like expensive as hell to
Jeremy, you're
purchase
gonna make me
still.
on now.
I know I'm tired.
Oh, man.
I'm actually ready to get off of here.
You didn't let me
Y'all
share
been
my.
on for a long time.
I was gonna say you didn't let me share my story before we got off because she wanted
That's
to
what
hear
she
it.
said.
We'll make this one quick then, because mine's a pretty short one too. So the one I did was, it's actually, speaking of bugs, it actually is a bug story called The Fly. Has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with
worst. That's anybody asked me the movie that scared me the most growing up. It's The Fly.
That one too is creepy. But surprisingly, this story is not based on the movie. It's actually a completely different story. But I'll play it for you guys just before we get off.
I want to listen to it. Turn the volume up. That volume is low on there.
Yep.
Oh no, this one's pretty loud. No, there's no volume at all.
There's no volume
You
at
don't
all.
hear? Oh, jeez, not this again. Hold
You
on.
didn't share the volume.
He's only got 2 tabs, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, I got a better idea. I know this sometimes had worked in the past, is the Microsoft Edge tab. Let's try that. Hopefully this works now. All right, start this again.
The Fly, narrated by
Oh,
Nick.
there we go.
Mr. Anderson lifted a large display of dead insects
An
on
echo on my end.
and pointed to the lower right-hand corner.
No,
You hear-
there's no echo now.
Seventh grade science class loved his demonstrations. This one is called a botfly, he began, and it's one of the nastiest insects on Earth, at least in my opinion. Logan leaned forward to get a better look. It looks like a normal fly to me, just a bit bigger. His friend Drew was equally unimpressed. Yeah, what's the big deal? Mr. Anderson smiled. Well, boys, do you really want to know? Logan and Drew nodded together. Botfly larvae are parasites, and this particular species loves humans. See, the female deposits the eggs directly onto the skin, or in some cases, attaches them to a mosquito or tick for an even nastier delivery. Once the larvae hatch, they immediately start burrowing deep into the flesh, where they continue to feed on you from the inside. The thought alone turned Logan's stomach. That is absolutely disgusting. Mr. Anderson laughed. You're right. Now imagine 50 of these things creeping around in your skin. That's a botfly infestation, and it happens all the time.
It does happen.
The mental image caused Logan to turn a pale white. Mr. Anderson quickly realized he may have gone too far with the story. Okay, class, that's enough about the botfly. Logan, why don't you get a drink of water?
How did teacher swallow?
For weeks after that, Logan constantly checked himself for botflies. He was terrified of the thought, and any blemish or mark that showed up on his skin caused him to fly into paranoia. The one morning he woke up and found a large, itchy bump on his arm. He instantly thought the worst. When he got to school, he showed Drew, who only teased him. Yep, it's a botfly, all right. Just think it's probably eating your flesh right now. Logan looked down at his arm. Seriously, though, what if it is? I need to find Mr. Anderson right now. Mr. Anderson was alone in his classroom grading papers when Logan and Drew walked in. Without saying a word, Logan stuck his arm right in Mr. Anderson's face. Logan, for the last time, that's not a botfly. It's a mosquito bite. Botflies are mainly in South America. You've got to quit doing this. Logan peered down at the red bump. Are you sure? Mr. Anderson sighed. I'm 100% positive. Now get to the class you're supposed to be in. As Logan and Drew walked out the door, Mr. Anderson sat back in his chair and scratched the side of his head, wondering how two kids could be so strange. But then he felt something odd. Mr. Anderson immediately got up and walked to the restroom across the hall. He looked in the mirror and brushed away some of his hair to reveal a massive red lump with a bloody hole in the middle. His fingers trembling, Mr. Anderson slightly pressed on the fleshy crater.
Oh no.
A small worm-like larva sprouted from his skin and then quickly disappeared.
I'm gonna gag so bad. It's like one of them zits you pop.
Pretty cool stuff.
It hits the mirror or something.
And believe it or not, Emily, these are children's stories.
Yeah, they are. They're
Children?
for ages 8+. Just like the original trilogy, like how it's been, even to this day, the original trilogy has been considered one of the most controversial children's books. This was, which only, of course, made them more famous. And so now we have other, authors and groups out there that are trying to pay homage. And yes, these books are for ages 8+, like the original trilogy.
Now we just listen to this is great. Nick, Jeremy, and listen, this is great. I love this. We need an ASMR one. Imagine this with ASMR too. I love this idea of you all doing this. I did not know that this was happening.
There's a trailer There's a trailer that I actually put together.
Nick can take
Nick, you're gonna have to come on to what the
I've got too many things that I've got.
Well, Nick's gonna have to come on What the Frick Live, and we're gonna have to talk about this. So, Nick, I'm gonna message you. This is a great idea. This is fun.
I'd be delighted. Yeah, it's really something a lot of people are. I mean, again, despite the amount of work I have to put into them, it's just a lot of fun for everybody.
But Jeremy was really like this. You guys are good.
Just wait till you hear the other ones, because there's like I said, so far I got 23 stories up. I got 12 left to get. I'm going to try to upload 5 more later tonight.
And they're not super huge, long stories. What do you think? These are like 5 minutes or less?
The longest one so far has been
Rosie's.
6.5 minutes.
It was Rosie's story, I think.
This is a great idea. I love this.
And I'm going to be doing another project like this again in the future. There is one other Scary Stories tribute book I do plan on reading that I'm actually going to try to possibly get released before Halloween. It's called it's actually one of the Scary Stories tribute books that doesn't have the drawings, but it still pays that homage to the original trilogy. It's called At the Cemetery Gates Volume 1. But unlike this book, though, this one's just going to be narrated by me, but it's still going to, the sound effects and music will still obviously be included. So, but I'll be doing another project like this in the future with these books because, ironically enough, there is a sequel to Nightmare Soup, which is Nightmare Soup 2: The Second Helping. The difference is, however, though, we're actually not going to do that book because another audio series called Chilling Tales for Dark Nights, they already did one, an official one. So because of that, we're not doing that, but they are releasing a third book. And they also have an additional series called Nightmare Society. Now, the Nightmare Society books, there's already 3 of those out, again, by the same people that did Nightmare Soup. Those ones are actually for a more mature audience. That's ages 14 plus, because the stories...
Is 14 that mature?
Well, it's for teens and adults. It's not really for younger kids.
Is this R.L. Stein stuff?
No, the reason why they have it for older kids is the drawings in the book are a lot more graphic. They're gorier. They're more violent. Of course, they're certainly a lot more terrifying. There's some vulgar language in the stories. I mean, nothing hugely explicit. It's just basically for, again, a more for teens and adults. But I plan on doing that one. And in my opinion, the Nightmare Society books, they are probably the most terrifying books I've ever read since the original trilogy.
Really?
It scared, the first book especially, it scared me so bad with their drawings.
Nick, you got Nick, whatever. You all can do so much with this, like with true crime and all this stuff.
That's what a lot of people have told me. They say I got a good voice for narration.
Well, just think of, I hate this. I know I've said this 50 million times. ASMR, like there's no ASMR like horror, true crime. I mean, how many people fall asleep to Amazon Prime or Netflix with these true crime documentary? I do all the time, but like I listen to a lot of ASMR because I have chronic insomnia. It would be fun to listen to some of this stuff, and I know I'm messed up in the head, so. I'm
You
sure
never
there's
know.
a lot of me out there.
for those who discover my stories, I mean, I really do give them that message. You never know what you're going to find when you listen to them. So, because I've done a lot of stories. When you asked about the duration of the stories, for me, with one of the other books I've done, for
Hold
my
on,
longest,
I'm pulling. Is it just under your name right now?
yeah, just go to my YouTube channel and they're all available. And the book I did before Nightmare Soup is, you remember 3 years ago? Yeah, it was about 3 years ago when they made the movie, The Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
I just subscribed.
Yep, you got it. You got it. So you remember there was a movie that came out too of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
They actually made like a replica of the book from the movie, and they turn it into stories, and it reveals stuff that you don't see in the film. And among those stories, which is the haunted house, that's literally my longest one to date. That story is about almost 40 minutes. So
I love this. And just real quick with Things Network, because you all know I follow you guys, and Jeremy, I love you to death too. You're a super amazing person.
Thank you.
Is this like, are you going to be doing segments like of these stories on Things, or have you done it and I've just missed it, or what?
I actually wanted to talk to you about that, Jeremy, especially as we get closer to Halloween. Is that a possibility?
Anything's
like
possible.
Yeah, segments of this, or just like a story of the week, or story, like just something, put it together. And that would be cool.
I've had that vision, honestly, to be like, if there's not a show running, why not play one of my stories? And like I said, not only from that book, from the other books I've done, and I got a lot of them, and some of them and some of my stories I've done can't fill in.
You could almost put it in as a commercial type thing
on Friday nights, Nick.
Yeah.
Well, you could do like a commercial type thing and like promote Things Network, and then have the little 2-minute, 3-minute story, and then have it all together and just publish that out.
I'm actually going to, you know what, I actually did, and this was my way of paying homage to not only the Things Network, but to some of the other networks. I'm just going to share the screen one last time. This is just only a 50-second clip. This was actually the introduction that I made for it. Again, this is only just it's not going to last long, but this was my way of showing that Things
really,
as well as
really quick before you do this, just time out, because I know you guys go long. Like this is 313, which is my number, 313 right now. Like if you all have these shows and have like a little 5-minute clip of like some marketing of Things Network, and then have like a 2-minute, 3-minute story, you all could like take a little quick break and publish this and promote this. Everybody goes uses the bathroom, and then come back. And you can promote your other shows on the Things Network. That'd be cool.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Every now and then I do make a little commercial that I put on Facebook and YouTube.
Well, I'm talking about like with your lives. Like you go live and everybody's sitting here for a while, because obviously we're sitting here for a while because we love the show. I love you guys. Like you guys are awesome, all the shows. So, but if you're like, okay, we're going to take a 5-minute break. So you play a 5-minute video that promotes the network. And then you could put one of these stories in that's 2 to 3 minutes long and that. And then everybody comes back and we start talking again about whatever we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Oh, like an intermission.
Yeah, like an intermission. That would be cool.
That's what I've seen and Emily, I know you watch them too. That's what sometimes the 3 J's do on their LEP productions.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. But that would be something cool to do, because, I know there's times I'm talking to you all and I'll be like, okay, I'll be right back, and then I go and I have to do whatever I need to do, feed my dog, whatever, and give him his medicine, and then I come back. But if you had like little breaks of, you could play the commercials and even advertise the other shows that's on the Things Network in it.
That gives everybody a bathroom break.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually like the sites. Yeah, I mean, you've given us some good thoughts, Emily.
I think it's good, and especially with Halloween coming around, if you all could put some 5-minute. I know it takes. When I say 5 minutes, people watching think that it's no big deal, but 5 minutes can take hours and days to put together.
Right. Yeah.
So, maybe if y'all work on it and stuff and get it done by like September.
No, Brad.
What did he say? Oh God!
Then the show can go on
for 7 more hours.
Yes.
No.
Yes, it can.
Or time for Jill to make some more tea. She's got a point there. Emily and Nick
have never heard her talking about making tea, but she's
tea and tacos.
Always talking about cooking.
Yeah.
Teas and tacos.
So let me just play this quickly because I know we're still on screen share. So this was actually the introduction. This was my way of paying homage for not only things but some of the others, and even the introduction is unsettling.
Nightmare Soup, written by Jake Try and Andy Ciasco, narrated by various paranormal investigators and podcast hosts, sound design and original score by various scary musicians and artists, directed by Nick Muley, produced by the creative teams behind BB3 TV, It's Haunted Network, RU Media Network, Skeleton Key Network, Things Network, and Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainments.
So did not mean to play that again. So even something simple like that, really does, put the word out for for a couple of these networks that's participated in this.
I honestly, because you guys are on all the time, like for a couple hours, I think it would be nice to put something together, like a 5-minute video, and share one of those stories. Make 3 or 4 of these things where you can alternate them out, for a while, and everybody can have like a little break and come back.
Jill, I have talked to her about coming on to the network.
Thank you, Jill.
But her show starts halfway through the 13th Dimension show.
Yeah. Friday nights. And then I'm doing Wednesday nights now too. Not every Wednesday, every other Wednesday because of my backlog. And also I'm using Wednesday nights as part 2, or if somebody has to cancel and need to reschedule, like if they reschedule right now, it would be into January or February of next year. So I have Wednesday nights open if they have to cancel. What's going on to take Nick for you to host a show on Paranormal Cockroach?
That's not happening.
Is that a network? Paranormal Cockroach?
No,
it's
an inside joke.
Yeah, he just brought it up on. He made it up.
Well, I love Things Network, so you all know that. I've been banned. I've been banned for the last week, so y'all didn't see me at all on any of the shows this past week. I've been banned, so I'm banned now.
Jill's banned now on Facebook.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, so that's why she's commenting to YouTube.
Oh well, I am gonna head off here because I have a friend that's messaging me and she's like, "Can you please talk?" So we'll see what's going on. But I love you guys, Nick, Jeremy, love you both very much, and y'all are awesome. And try to put a clip together, 5-minute thing.
We'll definitely talk about. We'll definitely talk about it.
ASMR too, ASMR.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it because I really like this idea now. But yeah, let me know when you want me to come on.
Jeremy thinks it's sexual though, so.
Well, the one girl, yes.
Maybe
no,
if
we
it was
wanted
a
to
guy's voice, it wouldn't hit you that like that, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'd be a lot better that way.
I'll see y'all later.
All right, have a
take
good
care,
night.
Emily. Have a
Bye.
good night. Oh my God, Nick! I will make it a network and make it exclusive a Nick network. I'm already on 6 networks, Brad, and there's already possibly another one that's interested. There's like I can't escape. I don't know if I really want an exclusive network to myself.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It,
So with that, Nick, what do you say we go ahead and end the show?
yeah, I think it's time we need to. It's we've been on longer than we expected to be on. So and you know what? I'm even going to say this now. Before you say it, Brad, no, we're not going to go on beyond 6 hours. Even though we passed 3, we're not doing another 6 hours of this.
Wow. Because Brad, you're going to get us for 9 hours on Monday. So.
And this time we don't need to turn anything off. You're with us when you see us.
Yeah.
You get 2 cockroaches. Oh my God.
So remember that, Brad. This time you really get us.
You get 2 cockroaches a week. Nope. Keep them. Yeah, I can't even hit the love button anymore. Yeah, I know it sucks. We know how you feel. Yeah, sorry, Greg. I didn't see you earlier. It was good to see you.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I had so much fun on Greg's show.
I saw it. That was a good show.
Yeah, that was so much fun. It was literally a stories to tell show.
I love how you guys were also talking about my show. My show became part of the conversation. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Why wouldn't I talk about other people?
You know, Tom McNicholas actually told me this the other day, not only for my show, but for Don's show too. He had actually told me that I think we're probably among one of the first, if not the very first, podcast shows to be exclusively hosted by people who have autism. I don't think there's any other podcast shows like that, at least not that we're aware of. But according to him, he doesn't know of any other shows that does something like this.
That does what?
That does podcast shows that are just like hosted by people who have who are autistic.
Oh.
Yeah. So, time is it? What time is it Monday night? He's talking about.
We get there at 6 o'clock. We get to the prison at 6 o'clock. Are you guys staying at a hotel that night, Brad, or are you going to be driving back home?
Night, Jill. Oh, he just wanted to double check, but I'm sure he's probably typing something right now. Yeah. Night, Vivian.
Good night, everybody.
All right, we'll give Brad just another minute, and then we're going to get off here.
Yeah.
As soon as I get off here, I'm getting back to work on the stories. Like I said, he said they were going to be driving back.
That's going to be a long drive.
It's going to be a long drive, yeah. And we're at Mansfield till what time?
3.
Till 3?
Yeah.
Jeez, he probably won't be getting back until like 5 or 6 o'clock then.
Well, for him, they'll be angling down 4 hours.
Only 4 hours.
He said 4 hours.
Okay. Yeah. So about he'll be back home around 7 a.m. that morning then.
Well, he works night shift anyway, so it shouldn't be
He's
too
used
much
to it
for him. Yeah. Yeah, so his wife can probably do the driving there, and he sleeps, and then he can do the driving coming back home.
Okay.
That would probably be the best way. Okay. Tomorrow night on the 13th Dimension, we have
Barry Conrad.
Gary Conrad?
No, Barry Conrad.
Barry Conrad. Okay. We have Barry and Gary, so take your pick.
hopefully Gary will come on. If not, it may just be Barry because I guess somehow he didn't get full word about the show. But I've been in talks with Barry. I was already talking with Barry Conrad before. He still wants to come on to the show. It's just a matter of getting him on because he says his best way, really, even though he's got Facebook, his best way of contacting is actually email. So I did tell him the time of when we're doing the show. So hopefully he shows up and hopefully he gets the StreamYard link. Even if it's on email, I'm just going to have to send that message just saying, be ready past this time because I'm going to send it to you and that's when we can get you on. So, in case anyone doesn't know who he actually is a well-known filmmaker. He's also a parapsychologist, and he was actually involved in basically a haunted house case back in the late 1980s, early 90s, as what's eventually been called the San Pedro haunting. And he's as far as I know, he's only ever appeared on one show, which was Paranormal Witness, which was 10 years ago. It was the episode Man in the Attic. But he does have a lot of his investigation footage from I think 1989 or 90 on YouTube. So he has most of the stuff available. And there's been a few other documentaries made after this occurred, but his most recent one was when he was on Paranormal Witness.
Okay, well, since you're more familiar with him, you can lead off on the show for tomorrow, and we'll just go from there. Because I'm not familiar with either one of the guys.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
I'll have to write a couple list of a couple questions. So just have to see how I could start off with, because this is my first time obviously meeting them face to face. So we'll start off like
familiar with him.
What's that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm not.
I'll just start off obviously like we do with all of our guests, saying, first have them talk a little bit about themselves, and then afterwards, start getting involved. And
I'll look at Barry and say, okay, who are you?
Well, I should be out of Facebook jail around 7 tomorrow, so she'll watch mostly till then.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. So those of you out there in the audience that are still watching us, thank you for playing along. And we will look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night on the 13th Dimension.
You guys all have a great night and stay tuned. Also, I got more stories on the way.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.